I will rename you in a minute. You know
That's
that.
fine.
I know.
It don't matter.
No, but I'm gonna say your name now. Kellen. You ready?
Ready whenever. Or did you start your live already?
I have.
What's up,
Started
y'all?
10 minutes ago.
She ain't even supposed to start the live yet, but you know it is what it is.
There we go.
Well, shit, let's get this show on the road. What's going on, y'all? This is another episode of the Social Drinkers Podcast. I am Sean P.
I am Mel.
And today we have a special guest, an extra special guest. Introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up, Sean? What's up, y'all? Man, look,
Talk to us.
check out this sign, y'all. Drinkers Podcast.
Drinkers
Man, this off the chain right here. I ain't gonna even lie.
Love it.
Man, that's the guy right there. I know it's about me right now, but that guy right there,
Yes.
and this lady right here to my right. Oh my goodness, good people.
We got a crew. We got
people.
a gang of people involved. Everybody play their part.
Yes.
And you know, we getting better and better. If y'all seen the show before, you know how we started off on the other channel, and you know how we started off on this channel. And every single episode, we've been stepped our game up.
Yes.
From the audio to the visuals.
From the
Mel, you really like the sign, huh?
I love this sign.
Good.
I
then.
do. I love it.
Well, I tell you what. Can we take a drink to the sign?
We're gonna drink.
All right, let's
Drink
do
the
that. Let's
sign.
take a drink to the
Let's go.
sign.
Let's take a drink to the sign.
What you sipping on?
Oh, I got my Crown Royal.
You're the only one with the white.
Oh man, I'm on that tequila, y'all. Y'all know how I do. And then
Y'all know I'm on Crown.
for sipping purposes,
Oh gosh.
got the White Claw.
He's forever promoting White Claw.
I know, don't nobody drink that shit.
Don't nobody drink that shit but him.
I told you at the gas station up the street, they have it in there, and I got the last one. And I went up to the counter. He said, "Hey, brother, I get you another one." I like, am I the only person that buy this?
Only
The only human being in the hood over here near Greens Point
They
that
do
buy
White Claw.
on the black
Wow.
person.
And it make me feel bad because I take all their stock. So
Social drink.
to the
Social
Social Drinkers
Drinker.
Podcast and to the sign, y'all. Clank, clank, clank.
Appreciate y'all.
Mel, you want to get us going?
Yes. So, Mr. Kellen,
What's up, y'all?
I love it.
Okay, so all that whispering shit I need to do. You just make you trying to
Mr.
make it very
Kellen,
hard
I
for me to edit
love
this stuff,
it.
right? Okay.
No. So, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Man, I'm.
Bring us into this.
Oh man,
Because we've been chilling for the last 35, 40 minutes. So,
Yeah.
I know. Let them know.
Okay, I'll let them know. Man, I'm a black man,
I hear that.
I noticed
tall. Yeah, you noticed that. Yeah.
I thought he was a little white guy.
that. No.
You know,
This
you know,
the
I'm
nose.
just saying. Though. Yeah, it's the nose.
That's what did it for me.
thought it
Bald
was the
head.
eyebrows,
God fearing, loving life. But no, seriously, I'm. My name is Kellen Allen. Your thing froze over there.
Oh, did it?
Yes.
That was just.
Okay. All right. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Like I said, God-fearing man, inspirational speaker, motivational speaker. Just love speaking life into people. And anybody that I'm connected to, you know, the one thing that I was learned and was taught was when you're in interaction with somebody, the last thing when you leave, you want them to still be on your mind.
Lasting.
Yes. So I'm like, okay, if I have a conversation with you, when I walk away from you, what did I learn? Or what did you learn
what did
in
you
the
do?
conversation with me? Because if I didn't learn nothing, that was a waste of time.
Right.
And I'm never going to say anything else to you again.
Right. So I'm like,
You don't
okay,
give us no
first
second
impression.
chances?
Yeah, no
None.
second chances.
I'm too old for second chances.
Fair
You
enough.
get one and that's it.
Well, I'm glad the last 35 minutes I'm still here after conversation with this lady
After
to
y'all
my
sent me to
Yes.
Popeyes.
right.
She's
You know,
a
but
great
Popeyes was to tell you though.
conversation.
But yeah, I'm all that.
He
you know,
is.
and I appreciate the invite, and I don't take nothing for granted. And like I told Sean, and man, this is a beautiful setting, and I thank God for everything. And we finna chop it up today, and nothing is off limits.
Off the table, nothing.
Nothing.
All right.
Nothing.
So you have two beautiful daughters and you're married.
Yes.
How long have you been married?
Ooh.
Oh, don't do that.
Bro,
And
you know, like I know.
Did he just say, "Ooh, don't do that"?
You, and,
Oh, my
and you might want
gosh.
to rattle that shit off for some
Yeah.
ass.
yeah, we're
Don't
gonna
do
make
that.
sure this get edited. Up.
I take it. Yeah, I take it.
Yeah, I tell you that. Nah, I've been married going on 13 years in
Oh,
April.
amazing.
13 years. We have she actually turned 22 yesterday.
Your
I have
daughter.
a daughter.
Wow.
Yes, her
Good,
oldest.
great,
That's by
great.
marriage. I stepped in her life when she was 7.
Okay.
So that stepdad stuff, I don't
Nah,
believe
you
in
ain't
it.
stepdad.
I
Your
stepped in
dad.
it already. I stepped in it, but I
Yeah.
stepped in it good, because I know that was a package deal. And so then years later, 2016, that's when I got my actual biological daughter, and she's 7. Her name is Kaylee. I'm sorry, my oldest is Alyssa, and my second is Kaylee.
And I bet they keep you grounded.
Yes, they
Because
do.
there's nothing but girls in the house out here.
Exactly. It's no testosterone or nothing in that house.
None.
Do you want a boy?
I do, but then again, I'm like, nah, I'm good, because the reason why I say that, because that 7-year-old, that's 99% me. That's all boy and girl, so I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm good. So yeah, and I thank God for their relationship. Even though they from two different worlds, they came together, and it's like they're inseparable.
Okay.
And I thank God for that. So yeah, so other than that, man, of course, I work for the post office.
I was going to get into that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just
okay.
ahead of the game. Just ahead of the game.
Drive
So,
that car.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and drive it, and yeah, I'm good. So we blessings on top of blessings.
Yes, it is.
On top of the hardships and everything. I just thank God I'm still here, and I'm.
Do you
sitting
still
on this
enjoy doing post office? Because I know I've had some friends that are like, "Ooh, it's too hard. It's too this. It's too that." Do you still enjoy it?
Yeah, it is too hot, but you know what keep me motivated besides the grace of God, that the fact that I do have a job, I do have, I'm gonna say a career. Let me say
Yeah,
that.
a career.
It's the
That's
fact
not just a
that
job.
I have 3 women in my life that looks up to me, so I don't have no
You loving
excuses.
that over there.
No,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
So I have no excuse to, like, I don't say I gotta love it, but it's like when I feel like, man, fuck this all. I don't want. I look at, like, my girls, my ladies, like, what would they say as a man? It's like a pride thing. Like,
Yeah.
nah, let me suck it up. Let me go out here and get it done, because at the end of the day, if they don't see their daddy hustling and buffling and going at it,
Right.
what type of niggas they gonna end up with?
Right.
Sorry ass niggas. So
Sorry.
I gotta set
Yeah.
the tone. So it's all about setting
Now,
that tone.
what
and
do you
setting that.
consider to be a sorry ass nigga?
Man,
You
come
don't have
on,
to
man.
get too in depth, but I mean, there's some
Okay,
there's some
we
basic
could go.
tenets.
We could go with it. Yeah, everybody. It's like basically like if my girls, they have their job, they going out there and getting it and all that, and he at home playing games,
Video
twiddling his
games,
feet,
yeah.
eating up all the cereal, eating up all the food and all that
Fruit
type
snacks.
of stuff, all the fruit snacks, everything.
All
And
the
she
kids' meals.
right? All the Lunchables and everything.
Yeah.
You eating up all that, man, and you ain't doing nothing, man. Then we gonna have a problem, because if she called me one more time, it's gonna be an issue. So that's what I believe, man. I believe a man should set the tone in the household, regardless if the kids in the household or not. The man should always represent.
A woman
fatherhood.
loves a man to be able to lead.
Right.
If
right.
you can't lead yourself, where the hell are you leading me?
Right, but that's all about, speaking of that, you got young men these days, especially my age or just younger, if they don't have that example at home, how can they follow through? What's the
Right.
blueprint?
It's none.
What's the blueprint?
You get a woman's blueprint.
Right, and that's, that's to this day.
Problematic.
Yeah.
What?
So,
We're here by default half the time.
Well, so I'm not saying that you're not. There aren't situations that arise where it's needed for you to be. So what's with the
Yeah, I ain't asking for no, Father's Day gift, but
no.
I mean,
I get what you're saying. There are situations where women have to take the
we have to take
the
both.
dominant
We have to
role.
wear both
Right,
hats.
right.
We don't
But-
want that.
No, well, I'm not saying you do, but there are instances where it's unnecessary, where you actually make it difficult, where you don't want to relinquish that role.
Honestly, I'm not one of those types.
No, I get you.
Hey,
But we all,
I'll have the kids clothes packed and ready for you to come
so
get it.
You always do this. Anytime I say, look, this, that, and the third.
Yes.
Well, I'm not one of those.
I am not.
So there's an exception to every rule.
Yes,
but what I'm finding is that I agree with you. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of men that's not stepping up being men.
Right, it's a whole lot.
Their masculine frame, but there are also very masculine women.
And it's some that are.
will not relinquish that role, or when they think they're incapable of doing it.
So
But
why
you
do
know
you
what?
feel like they have that type of mentality for as women being so strong-headed
So
and strong-minded?
There can be a couple of reasons, and one of the ones that, and I'll say the one that's most echoed the most by black women that I've heard, is that they've been put into this position because the man is not present,
Right.
or if they are present, they're not making a concerted effort
They're
to
not
do
active.
things.
They're playing video games.
Right.
Exactly,
Everything.
or other stuff. It doesn't necessarily be video games.
Right.
Far less guys play video games than what you think.
Right.
But they are also into something else that takes them outside of the home. Mm. Then you have the ones where society has emboldened them to be more masculine. I often see black men in a position where their role is diminished in the eyes of society.
Most
And
definitely.
there is a general lack of respect for black men all across the board.
Right.
We come to a place where, in a lot of instances, where black men are seen as property of the black woman. That we need to cater to your every whim. And but Mel, you said that. You said, but
I
it's
don't
you.
agree with that. I don't
Okay,
agree
well,
with that.
talk to
I
me.
don't agree with that because it is some women that just feel like if I can't have you, then you cannot see your kid. You cannot do X, Y, and Z. I totally don't agree with that. Me personally, I need that break.
No, that's
Listen.
an extreme example. I didn't mention kids. I didn't mention kids.
Okay,
But just
so
an
what are we talking
overall
about?
role in the household, an overall role in society.
Women want that role from you.
You say that.
No, women do want that role. But if I've had that role for 10 years, why would I relinquish it to you?
But you're speaking from what you feel.
True.
And I'm talking about overall sentiment with black men. Go ahead.
Some of y'all don't even want that role.
Who said that?
Who said? Yeah. Well, you'd be surprised. A lot of us men. I'm a vouch. I'm not going. I don't condone
make me
it.
think differently.
But it's a lot of men, bro, that don't want that role. Like with you, respectfully, you're from a different generation from me.
Mm-hmm.
Your generation, oh yeah, we want that role. We want
Right.
this, want that. My generation and younger, no.
Okay, let me get the age bracket, age range now.
I'm 38.
Oh,
Okay.
So
Okay, so
you got to remember, like
that's an entire generation.
exactly. So you
entire
talking
generation.
10-year difference, 20-year
Yes.
difference, two generations.
generations different, yeah.
Difference.
That damn man, ain't that a whole
Right.
14 years?
Yeah, I'm just saying, though, man.
But that's you know what? Honestly,
like a 60
that is a long time. Think
Yeah.
about it. If you were 14 years old, would you talk to a 2-year-old? No. If you were 28-year-old, would you talk to a 14-year-old because you feel like they're too young to you? You wouldn't talk to that person until you're 50.
At this age right now, I wouldn't date a 30-year-old
I wouldn't either.
because you're just too young. So I
Right.
get
Young-minded.
I get that aspect of it, but there's a pussification, a demasculization of black men in this country.
I can't deal with Sean.
I'm just keeping it 100.
Yes, we hear you.
Ever since that phrase "toxic masculinity" came out, it's made it a little bit more. Here's another word: problematic
Yeah.
Okay.
for men to just be men.
But it's not problematic. Some of these guys just don't want to be men.
That you okay?
Well-
but you're saying that, but you don't let me finish.
Okay, finish.
What
My
I'm saying.
bad.
So once again, you're proving it.
You're right. You're
So
right.
a man is giving you an opinion on man shit, and you immediately jump in and tell that man that he's wrong about what he sees as a problem.
But you have
with
to
men.
understand, I grew up with 3 young men in the house.
I get that.
I didn't have any women. I mean, the only woman I had was my mom.
Right.
I didn't have any sisters or siblings as sisters. So I only grew up with the guys that was in my house, and then they brought more guys.
So
in the house.
you grew up masculine.
Very.
Okay, so that, and
very.
That proves my point.
It is. It is proving a point.
So
it is very.
You're gonna be, and I'm not calling you masculine, like you're a stud or some shit like that.
Hell no.
But when I say masculine, is you have you have an aggressive frame where
I do.
I need to get it done.
Right.
I'm like that. But the difference is with me, I find that when you try to assert yourself, you're not taken as seriously in this environment that we're in.
Not.
And then you get caught up in the white man shit with the Me Too shit and the toxic. When they talk about toxic masculinity, they're not talking about
What is
black.
that? I've never heard of that.
You've never heard toxic masculinity. Okay, well, what it is basically, and you know, especially for the audience, you can agree or disagree, or you can be on one side or the other. Sure. But when you catch a man doing typical man shit, that's to be frowned upon.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? But by the same token, there
Aren't
are
they
certain.
supposed to do man shit?
Well, in your mind right now,
What's
what do you think
man
man
shit?
shit is?
What popped in your mind when he said?
When I said man
Mow
shit,
the lawn?
no, that's not man shit. That's a household chore.
Yeah, that's a chore. That's
Some shit that a
something that gotta
woman
be
won't just
done.
get outside and do.
Some women do.
will.
I mean,
some
I
women
will
go out there.
I've learned how
it
to
ain't-
do it.
We've
Yeah.
learned. We know, man.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's not something that I just want to jump outside and go do.
But that's not what I'm talking about.
So what are you actually talking
Just
about?
a masculine frame, the way that men typically are, the way we speak, the way we carry ourselves. We did an episode one time where I was like, okay, if I came home from work and I had a rough day, I want to decompress.
Who wouldn't?
Well, if you go back and watch that episode,
I did, but I'm just.
Hey,
I mean, I
Sean-
think I was on that episode.
you were.
But
Sean-
I mean,
see,
when I want
you're
to.
doing it again. Oh, girl, I'm trying to tell you. But Sean was like, and that's why I wish Sean was here. Sean was like,
I wish Sean was here.
Sean was like, well, do you when you come home, do you at least give her a kiss and a hug and then you go decompress? Well, so you made it about, huh?
Well,
Should
let me interject. I know when I
interject.
come home, especially dealing with, which y'all know what I deal with on a day-to-day basis, I come home, kiss, hug, and I'm out the door. That's just me.
I'm not saying
Think about it is, when you come home, you want to at least acknowledge who's in the house.
Thank you.
Yeah, at least that. But
it's not an acknowledgement.
right. But the thing about it is, at least, like, I know with my wife, when I come home, just by the way I kiss and hug her, she know the vibe already. Like, he don't want to be bothered with. So I'm going to let him, I'm going to distance myself from him. Then eventually he'll come back around and, you know, we could talk about household stuff and what we got to get done. But right now, I don't want to hear it. And vice versa with women, y'all the same way. Y'all can have a bad day or feel some type of way, or if y'all on y'all period or something, y'all don't want to be bothered. Y'all don't want to be. So y'all don't want to be bothered, you know, with nothing.
We don't.
So when y'all come home, we gotta feel that vibe too. So you know, when we come home, like you said, we want to. Yeah, you got we want to chill out. When we come home, we don't want to hear
Nothing.
nothing.
But I think everybody should have, man, woman, child, or whatever, should have a
Child?
moment. Yes. A child should have a moment to say, because they're human.
You're right.
And they should have a moment to say, you know what? I've had a fucked up ass day. You've had a fucked up ass. I don't want to be fucked with either.
Right.
So why should I have to deal with what you had to deal with, what the wife had to deal with? I'm human too. The worst thing I've ever heard in my whole entire fucking life was children should be seen and not heard.
Right.
That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my
Yeah.
life. Because they're a human too.
Right.
So because kids are cruel. So I've had to deal with little Billy bullying the shit out of me all day long. And I got to come home and I don't need. I shouldn't say anything because I'm a kid.
Right.
Well, I mean,
but they gonna say it anyway.
Yeah, that's a little. I think that's
all kids don't say nothing.
Some kids, but that I believe that goes with like the relationship that you have with your child, like to the point where I know with my girls, they pretty much open. They can like, especially with my wife, they can be open with her before they come to me, and I thank God for that.
Right.
But when you sit there and say when you come home or whatever, do you believe, man, Sean, do y'all believe like, okay, you had a fucked up ass day, vice versa? Do y'all think respectfully it'd be like respectful, like, you know what, let me call him or her, let them know, hey, I had a fucked up ass day. When I get home, just know that the attitude I'm on, it ain't personal.
It ain't personal.
Because some relationships take that shit personal, and it ain't about you.
And that was
it ain't about
point.
the situation.
So,
but they always said, don't bring your work life home and don't bring your home to work.
But you would have to actually bring your work life home because you spend more time with them than you do at your house.
At least 8 to 9 hours.
That's the whole theory or the argument that I have with decompression. Okay?
Right.
So we talked about acknowledging the person that's at home with you. Of course, you're going to acknowledge them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe you ain't got it in you to be all lovey-dovey.
I don't need you to be.
Right.
Give me a kiss, a hug, and go on about your dog.
Yeah, but I mean that's not all. That's
every day though.
It doesn't have to be that. So it becomes an expectation now, because ultimately, when you think like that, and it's nothing wrong with thinking like that. But my point being, when you think like that, then he has an obligation, no matter what day he's had, to come home and make you feel better about yourself.
So she should have the same obligation?
To do what?
To come home and make you feel that same way?
We're both adults.
We are.
So if you come home and you having a day, like you said, acknowledge, but, I need to go be by myself and get my hair right, and then we can be ourselves.
Later on, right. So it should be a he or she, not just a he.
No, my point being is
it should go both ways.
More typically, and this is why I talked about where I was mentioning toxic masculinity, is that typically men handle shit like the way in that manner. Women will come home and want to be a little bit more.
Not all the time.
See? Do you see what I'm saying?
What are we just talking about? Y'all come get this woman over here.
But Sean, not all the time.
That's.
But go ahead.
You understand where I'm coming from?
I understand where you coming from.
So it's male. There's always going to be that exception. I'm talking about as a norm.
Okay.
And, we always talk about emotional. I'm not emotional.
Okay.
I'm pragmatic about what I do, and how I may handle myself is just maybe shut down. And I'm already shut down, so it's not a call home before I get home. Hey, I'm mad.
Right. No, it ain't that.
I'm not finna do that.
Right.
I'm finna get away from the stressor in my car, listen to some music and try to get my hair right, get home.
Right.
Hey, babe, go about my business and then come back. It's that simple. But the key part that's missing that's not necessary, but that's a woman would want you to do that's toxic, is that I don't stop and make you feel better about yourself because I've had a bad day and you want me to acknowledge you. Just because you don't get acknowledged doesn't mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that I don't care. I had a hard day. Now, depending on the person that you talk to, that is toxic. But that is a masculine trait. That is something that guys do for better or for worse, and I get it. You can't be that way all the time.
All the time, right.
But there are things that men do, there are a way that men handle themselves that women don't necessarily agree with. That's what, because you asked me what toxic masculinity is.
I do a little bit different.
Huh?
Because sometimes women are on the same vibe that you are when you get on. Okay, so what if both of us had a fucked up day?
Okay.
And you come home, you kiss me, and we go about ourselves. I don't want to be bothered either.
But that goes.
That every now and again.
Right. But that goes with the vibe though, because when like I said, when you get home to your husband, whatever, you know your vibe between you and your husband,
Right.
regardless. So if you know if it's off, don't take it personal. That's what he's saying. Don't take it personal.
And I don't.
Just come back. But like he said, some women.
You're talking about you.
But some
We're
we talking a
Oh,
general.
across the
We
board.
talking about
Okay,
a general.
okay, I got
Calm
you.
down.
Okay, yeah.
Calm
Let me
down
get
over
off
here.
that. Because
Calm
last
down.
night my husband came home and he was tired. He was exhausted. And I was watching the Killer Show like I always do. And he came in and I was like, why you ain't got no shoes on? He was like, well, it ain't muddy. Da, da, da. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm still paying attention to I'm not paying attention to you.
That's fine.
You go do
'Cause he probably had
whatever
a bad
it
day
is
anyway, so that's-
you need to go
That
do
is
to
you.
yeah, but I
we
mean,
talking about in general.
and in my mind, that's how people should be.
No.
It's fucked up.
Yes.
But it is.
No.
It's all messed up.
You just admitted that you have a masculine frame because you grew up around so many guys.
I did, and
you
it is
don't.
probably
And you
what
don't
it is.
have female friends.
I don't. I have a lot
So
of
you
them.
identify with men. So what you're saying is a lot of the way that men naturally are, you're attuned to it. But you have girly girls, you have womenly women. Is that a thing?
Yes,
but you have
womenly women. It's a thing right now.
Oh, Sean, where are you? Oh my gosh.
They require a certain amount of affection and attention.
True.
And I'm not saying you don't deserve that. What I'm telling you is
true.
you may not always get it from a guy, and that's him in this realm of what we're talking about. That in and of itself is called toxic masculinity. I'm giving you a definition. I'm not asking you to.
Never ever heard of that.
I'm not asking you to agree with it.
No,
but you
I
have
get
never
it.
heard of it. So I'm telling you that there are certain traits that are attributed to men. Huh?
Am I oblivious?
No, but it doesn't matter to you because you don't live in that world.
I don't. I
But
honestly don't.
But you had this thing. You ever heard of Earth? So
I can't
on
stand
Earth,
Sean.
you have other human beings.
And you know what? Honestly, and but no, I get what you're saying. I understand. I totally understand what you're saying. But I guess I am oblivious because I grew up in a house with nothing but dudes.
Yes.
So
Right.
in my mind, if I'm at home and I'm chilling and you come in the house and you don't want to be bothered, nigga, I don't want to be bothered either. So I'm okay with that.
Right, but like Sean said, that's you.
Yeah,
How about the
You're
other?
right.
How
You're
about
right.
the
And
other
I don't
women
know. I can't tell
who
you how they
wasn't?
feel.
They didn't grow up in your circumstance.
And
Like,
you
you
know
got-
what the
you-
crazy part about it is my daughter didn't grow up in that because she had two other brothers, really three other brothers. She didn't grow up with no sisters. She was
Right.
in the same boat that I am. And so mentally, she didn't give a shit.
Right, but that's like Sean
Yeah,
keeps saying. That
we're
goes
a rare
back to
breed.
yeah, right.
Well, it's not
So-
even that rare.
It's
But
not
you
rare,
also,
it's
you
just like
duplicated
that.
to certain circumstances of growing up in a certain environment twice.
Right.
So it happened with you, and
And
now
your
it's
daughter.
happening with her.
Right.
So she's
So
being
when
brought up
she-
around boys. She's not going to be affected. Shit, she probably be ranking on niggas.
She do.
And-
Right.
Yeah, so
Exactly. So-
women don't typically do that.
Do
That's
that.
not a
Exactly.
trait that's attributed to women.
That's
And you know what? I'm going to say this. In my mind, that really helped me understand what guys wanted, what guys understood. Because I grew okay, you already know. If you're in a house with a lot of guys, you're in a house with three brothers or two, I don't know how many brothers you grew up in the house with. I don't know how many you grew up in the house
just
with.
one.
I grew up as an only
Okay.
child.
Well, you're anyway, but you know, being around a lot of guys, I hate Sean. But you know,
You messed my narrative up. I was trying to make a point.
but growing up in the house with dudes, you know what guys understand. You know what guy you see the plethora of
You were
Right.
to it.
different. Yeah.
Right.
So growing up in the house with different dudes and guys, all I had was guys that brought other guys home because they were their friends.
Right.
So I'm in the house with different dudes, 5 and 6 guys at a time, and I'm sitting on the stairs listening to what they like, what they don't like, what they understand. One guy in my mom's house, because my mom always cooked for all of them. So one guy in my mom's house was like, man, she was over there squatting. She was over there doing this, man. I love that shit. So guess what me and my friends did?
Over there squatting.
We doing this. We chilling. We do. Because we feel that that's what guys like.
No, we're just talking about what we saw.
But that's what they liked. That's what they were like, man. That shit.
When you say squatting,
Squatting.
Just squatting down. Like squatting down in a position where your ass is poked out and all this other
talking
shit
about
like
dancing.
that.
what are you talking about?
No, not dancing. Like you're
context.
squatting.
Was
Okay,
squatting.
she was squatting down, getting something off the ground.
Oh, they
And
liked
the way
it.
that she did
They
it.
liked it.
That's
seductive.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's seductive.
But,
Yeah.
but listening as
Oh,
a
okay, yeah.
15-year-old,
When you said it, I picture a woman squatting. I'm like,
Squatting.
man, that's hot.
Is she picking up something?
Oh, God.
She lifting weights or something?
Shit, look at her.
Right.
in that
Squat.
same manner,
Yeah.
See, we being
squatting,
toxic
lifting
right now.
weights.
Right. What's she
Getting
squatting? What's
something
she
off
squatting?
the ground.
400?
She's squatting about 400-500. You know, she's 250 on her shoulders. You
She
know what I'm
wearing
saying?
those
She's
new
swole.
leggings that
Yeah.
have the natural
God.
wedge in it.
That you can
Yeah,
put your
man.
cell phone on the hip, you know, all that shit.
Jesus
But
Christ.
when you're listening to guys, as a woman, when you're listening to guys, that's what you tend to tune into.
Right.
So you tend to sit in that I ain't had nobody around me that was feminine, like,
Yeah.
other than my mama.
Right. Yeah, you get, yeah.
But that's why it's good to understand what we're talking about. So we talked about, once again, to kind of bring it back around.
Yeah, I'm circling.
Was-
I'm circling back around.
you
Right. About women taking on masculine roles. But you just proved it, that you take on the masculine role because that's what you're used to. That had nothing to do necessarily with the men that you dated or them not stepping up. It's you were already like that.
Right. You already, like, you're.
Yeah,
So
that
if you
trait
take
in
that
you.
on
Right.
a bigger scale, you have single mothers that raise daughters to. I have a coworker, and she is adamant. You know, my mama said niggas ain't shit. There's nothing you can do with that.
No,
Nothing
because
you
it's
can do with
embedded
that.
in her
'Cause
brain.
it's in her
Yeah, it's in
system.
psyche.
So
So-
it's like, yeah.
I don't like the
don't
idea
like that.
of saying that it's because, and 'cause we're talking about black men. I'm not. We ain't talking about white folks. I don't subscribe to the idea that the reason why black women tend to be so masculine, some of them, to please you,
Male.
black women
Some.
tend to be
Too
so
cute to be
masculine.
masculine.
Some.
You have masculine attributes. You're not masculine. But the reason why they're like that is because there's some deficiency with most black men. That's not the case. Sometimes you're put in a position, and I talked about this before the camera started rolling, where it's like, damn, this motherfucker will not back off. This person will not let me cook. Not physically cook. Because that bitch gon' nah, fuck with
Yeah, right.
you. She won't, I'm joking.
Yeah.
She won't let me.
Let me be
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Be me.
Be me.
Be me.
Because you're so caught up in what it is that you feel like you got to do.
Right, like that micromanage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
that's what. Yeah,
Might as well
that's
be at work.
irritating.
Yeah.
If
That's
it's
irritating
not-
to
if-
a real man.
If
Yeah,
she don't say it, then it ain't right.
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 You understand what I'm saying? So now you have a choice, and typically you're already in love with her. I
Yeah.
can work with it and try to fix it, but you're not going to fix it.
No, you're gonna deal with it.
You're going to deal with it, and that
Right.
emboldens that person and makes them even more assertive and even more dominant. And next thing you know, either the nigga is broken or you run him off. So
then if he step up, if he step up and say something, then that's gonna be a problem.
Right. Right.
now you bucking.
Regardless,
Yeah. Now you bucking the
regardless
system.
if he say it in a loving way or if he say it in a way like, man, you come on, leave me alone. I got this. They're gonna take it personal and turn it around and make it seem it's about them.
Right.
It ain't about you, baby girl. It's like, let me. I hear you. I ain't gonna say complaining, but I hear you talking.
Right.
I hear you.
complaining.
Yeah. I didn't want to say this because my wife may be watching, but yeah,
And I
but
hope she is.
Call it what it is.
she probably sleep. But
She don't confront me at work.
right.
Yeah. I
your
know he
show anymore
did not.
Yo,
But it's like, okay, I hear you. Okay, let you know, men, we more of a we don't talk. Real men, we don't talk. We more of an action. We more like, okay, I hear you, but let me go ahead and do this. But if we're doing it, you still talking, and it's like, okay, what do you really want from us?
Right.
You know, and that can cause conflict.
Right.
That can cause the issue, but it's like, damn, baby girl, you ain't letting me be a man. I'm letting you be a woman. I'm letting you be a wife. Let me be over here. Let me be a man, because they always say a woman's a little bit more mature than a man in a way. That's in a way.
They mature faster.
For us, like, yeah, exactly. We mature slower than a woman. So I'm like, all right, cool. I can accept that. That don't mean I'm slow. That don't mean I'm stupid.
But you catch up.
It catch up eventually. But in the meantime, don't diminish what I'm doing and trying to do to become what you want me to be. But let me become that in my time.
Mm-hmm. Just
like with you. It don't matter, Mel. I'm just saying though.
Once again, and that is not. I'm gonna let you cook.
Go ahead.
It's not a matter of how long it's gonna take. What is the end goal? What do you expect him to ultimately be at?
I mean, at some point, I don't need you at the house, and I'm still doing your job, and mine's too.
Well,
mine's is if I tell you, okay, babe, let me retract that. If I ask you, hey, babe, you know, what are we gonna do? Blah blah blah. I'm looking for a direction from you.
No,
I know where I want to go.
You came up with a scenario, not in this, but just in that scenario you're talking about. You came up with something and expected him to come up with an answer.
No, but I want you to say, you know what? This is what we're gonna do.
And what?
But what if it's a situation which you have every right to ask that to a man, just like we ask that to our wives or a woman. But whatever the situation is. What if it's a situation where we can't give you an answer all the time? We got to think about it, because we're more practical. We got to think about everything before we answer.
I'll give you time to think about it.
Okay. I'm just saying though, give us time to think about it, because
how long do you need?
Do you see yourself right now?
You just coming. No, I'm saying though, because it's good though, because it's like with ladies, with women, y'all react off emotions
sometimes.
All the time.
Stop doing that.
See?
We do sometimes.
Everybody does shit sometimes.
Right. But look, check it out.
We're talking about, as a general rule, women are more emotional.
We are.
We're practical. We like to think. Like that's just me. I don't want to give an emotional answer. Then 5 minutes later, I start thinking about, like, damn, I shouldn't have said that. Right. See, we got to think about it.
But you know what? The answer we're not looking for as a woman, what you think? Nigga, I just asked you.
Because you know why we say that?
Why?
And I'm going to say this, son. You know why majority of the time us men say that?
Tell me.
Because if you sit there and ask me something, in our minds, you already know the conclusion. You trying to figure out what we think. But if
I want your opinion.
But listen, if it don't add up to what you think,
it doesn't matter.
It's a problem.
No, it's
That's
not
all
a
I'm
problem.
saying. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Oh,
it
we
does.
don't drink to that.
But exactly. But look, we can drink all day. But I'm saying, bam. I'm just saying though, if it don't line up to what you're thinking, now it's an issue, because I could give you an answer like, this is what I think, and you be like, well, okay, what you thinking then?
Are you talking about a major thing, or
right? Are you talking about something major or something small?
I mean, on any scale.
No, it's not no any scale.
No, if it's major, what's something major where the point where, you know what, I'm not finna give you an answer right now. Let me think about it. What's major?
You know what? As far as a woman, if I come to you, yeah, true enough, I know what I want to do, but I value your opinion. So I want you to tell me, hey, you know what, this is a good idea.
No, we still need a scale, though, because if it's where we're going to go out to eat, I'm going to be
I don't give a shit where we go out to eat, because hell, I can do something
say
in the
that.
kitchen.
Some women do.
We're not talking about you. We're
talking about, I want to see a scenario where you ask a major question,
right,
and the guy won't give you an answer.
We got to think about it.
Should we sell this house?
What is the major? Okay, yeah. Give me that.
Car.
Give me that.
Should I quit my job now or 7?
Okay, that's a major question to me.
No, selling the house is?
Because no. You know what? Selling the house, they have several different houses out there.
No, Mel, you can't gloss over that.
What? No. What I say that to okay, quitting my job could cause us to lose this house.
No, but we're not talking about the consequences of you quitting house. Quitting a job. We already know that quitting a job for the male or the female is a major freaking thing.
But I want you to tell me how. I don't want to think logical.
No, what I'm telling you
scale.
in a scale. That's where we're there.
I don't want to think logical on this scale.
Why not?
I need your
Why not?
You just said it.
On this scale.
You just said it.
Oh God.
Thank you. I'll give us. You
just said it. You just told on yourself.
We're gonna decide it for you.
I don't want you to decide it for me. I want you to give me your personal opinion
if it's that
and
big,
make me think.
If it's that big,
yes.
My opinion on that is the final answer.
And I would take that.
Okay, you have no choice.
Yeah, I got a choice because it's my job.
No, and that's why I asked you what scale. So there's a lot of little things that we may just not really have a definite opinion on. But if it's something that's going to impact the whole household, if my wife came to me and said, man, I really want to stop working for about 2-3 years. I want to figure shit out. I want to go. I really want to take this class. I really want to do this. And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm like, okay. How we looking on finances, and then we'll talk it out.
We're practical.
Yeah, of course you can quit, and then we'll figure out what the scenario. Huh?
No, I'm just saying, but
no.
There's really no but other than what do the finances look like right now?
Exactly. Because because we're looking at the outgo,
right,
instead of the income.
Right.
So, So we're looking at you quit your job right now within the next 2 or 3 months or whatever. Yeah, not saying we don't support. We support you, but at the end of the day, while I'm supporting you, I'm like, okay, hell, are we gonna have money for the lights?
The lights,
or hell, are we gonna have money for
and the food,
gas and not only that, the mortgage?
And that's and when a woman come to you,
that's when it's practical.
And ask you that stuff like that. She want you to give her that.
We're going to give it to you. But the thing is, are you going to accept it? If we sit there, if it go against, you'd be surprised.
You say we.
I'm just saying, will you ladies accept it? Not you. We're not talking about you because you're good. You accept anything.
No, it's not that I would accept anything because honestly, Chris goes through hell with me.
But what I'm saying though, like in general, but I'm saying though, in general, it's like, that decisions like that's what we were talking about. Like, okay, we gotta sit here and think about this. I can't give you a definite answer right there on the spot. Like, then the thing about it too, Sean, that I noticed too, when you make big decisions like that, right. If it don't line up or if we don't get, I'm just in overall in general, it's like the whole atmosphere changed.
But isn't that humanly?
Right,
it's humanly,
but check it out though. But if it don't line up, what I'm saying though, if I say something to my wife, and if it don't line up to what she's thinking in her mind, it's gonna get quiet and it's gonna change the whole atmosphere.
But isn't that humanly?
Right,
it's humanly, but it's not about humanly. It's about you.
She want me to, she want me to agree. She want me to agree with what she's saying. We don't
necessarily want you to agree with what we say.
Yeah, you
but
you
again, isn't that humanly?
Right.
Because if you come to me and tell me something, wouldn't you want me to agree with you?
So no, I don't. Me personally,
it depends on what it is.
I need to know the truth.
Right. Let me know the truth.
Don't women want to know the truth?
But hold on.
To be comfortable.
When we tell y'all the truth,
we might give a little pushback.
Why?
But we know it's the truth.
But check it out. But when we get y'all pushback, hold on, son. So when we get y'all pushback, it's a problem. No, it's a problem.
Not a problem.
Yeah, I believe it is.
It's not a problem. We know you guys are right. We want y'all to push back sometimes.
No, but
we want y'all to say.
That's another thing. Okay, so. Woo. So
yes, you're gonna get a whole lot out of me. You're gonna have to take a whole bunch of breaks.
I'm built for it.
I know.
So we go out these cold streets of America, where everything is against the black man and all that shit.
I ain't worried about that.
Only a little bit of sarcasm.
I know it was. I love it.
And then we come home. I don't want to battle.
Cause we're already fighting the world.
I just want to come home And if there are small things that you can handle and a guy seems a little disinterested, like me, I don't want to deal with this little shit. It's not about being an asshole. You want to be a queen? You want to run shit? Run it. Now, when it comes to something big that puts the whole household in it, and not necessarily in jeopardy, I don't want to make it sound dire, but it's a major thing that you need your man strong, broad shoulders to hold up. I'm there.
But we want you to be there.
But here's the thing. I hear a lot of women, see if I see a video or a post or something where a woman is being subservient, or a guy is being really masculine, or a guy is being really domineering. Comment section, you'll have black women being like, couldn't be me.
Right. If that was me.
If that was me.
Girl.
Or they'll see something a black woman does to a black man that is blatantly wrong, and be like, girl, you gotta
work that neck when you say it.
So I don't know if y'all saw this viral video of the girl that was graduating.
Okay, let's go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadijata Diallo, and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is going to be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic. Congratulations!
And, she snatches the microphone.
The lady said his name wrong?
She said her name wrong.
She didn't say her name at all. It was 2 lines. One line, you talk to white woman's holding the mic. This person says their name and their major. She goes to the next line, my name, major, back and forth, back and forth.
Joan Booth, Amy Gomez, Angelica Chiara Villar, Gina Agulelo, Amoya Doyley, Alessandra Robertson, Janelle Wellington. Big up Jamaica.
So the woman never spoke. So she didn't say the girl's name wrong, but for whatever reason, this black chick, and it was proven that she lied, for whatever reason, she found it necessary to snatch the microphone out this old white woman's hands, speak her mind, and slam the microphone down. In the background, you have this loudmouth bitch talking about, drops the mic, So there's a segment of black women that applaud ignorance.
Right.
And so when you applaud ignorance and you reward ignorance with praise, you validate ignorance.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I agree.
And so that becomes the norm. And so while that's an extreme example, you have women that act just like that in the house. How are we supposed to deal with that?
Yeah.
You're not.
But we're forced to. And if I allow it to occur in my household,
That's just like dealing with dealing with a dude.
We're talking about women.
You can, but I mean,
and you're not a dude.
I'm not, and I don't want to be.
If a man has to deal with that in the household, typically, most men don't want to deal with that shit. So we end up letting you have it. Now that has emboldened you. So next week or next month, you take it up a notch. And then you take it up a notch. And next thing you know, you're married to a bitch who's loud, who don't listen.
Disrespectful
To the point where, you know what? Let's keep it 100. Behind closed doors, your woman disrespecting you a little bit, you like, man, I'm going to eat that shit. But what ended up happening is she gets so bold, she starts to disrespect you in front of other people.
In public.
And now it's a problem. So you're smiling because you understand exactly what I'm saying.
I'm smiling for a whole different reason.
But you know what I'm saying is true. And when a man gets to that point, there's really nothing he can do. Now that man is emasculated. Now it appears that this woman is just so dominant. No, He let her get away with shit, little shit, and it grew and it grew and it grew, and the next thing she's out of control. And that's all I'm saying. But the narrative is, and we can move on to another topic in a second.
Because I've got something to say
No,
about
you-
that.
No, we finna
I'm
move
saying,
on.
and I promise. And
I'm a say it,
and I
we going to
promise
move on.
I'm not going to cut you off.
No.
But that's why I don't agree with that narrative that black men don't step up to do what they need to do now. We could talk about the younger generation, which I think, man, they completely different. But I'm
That's a whole
speaking
nother
on what
conversation.
I know
Conversation.
and the situations that I've been through and the situations that I've seen people around me go through. I have a sister that's difficult. She said, Kim, I love you.
Don't do that.
I love you. But here's the thing: she'll cook. We go to the house and cook. She'll do it now. She'll feed me and shit. And when I say feed you,
And you
fix
eat
my
it?
plate.
Okay.
But so my sister Taylor, the one that passed away, if she was around, she's gonna fix my plate, regardless. As soon as the food ready, if I want to eat or not, she fix my plate, either wrap it or bring it to me.
Yeah.
And so if I'm at my sister's house, Kim would be like, "Food ready? I ain't fixing your damn plate." Off the rip, you don't want to fix my plate. Oh well, shit! I wasn't even thinking about that. I would have got up,
Right.
or got one of my nieces to do it or something. But eventually, eat. But since you made a big deal out of it, guess what? You gonna fix my plate. Now, you're my big sister. I can't force you to fix my plate. But my sister's vain. She can cook. I'm just not going to eat. Her vanity says, "No, nigga, you going to eat my food." And she fixed my plate. And now it's gotten to the point where it's a joke. I'm going to fix your plate, right? You don't want to do it, but you have
sarcastically do it.
But you have no choice.
She has a choice.
No, she doesn't.
She does.
I've explained why she doesn't.
Okay.
Because it does something for me to eat her food and enjoy it. If she doesn't fix my plate, she robs herself of that joy of
Finding out if what she cooked
is good.
was good or
and
not.
I know that sounds freaking silly, but I'm telling you,
the principle.
I set that shit up just the way I just told you. I'm like, watch you fix my plate.
Okay.
So you're gonna get what you want. But anyway, go ahead.
I'm a scale it back to what you initially said when you said when a woman is loud and she's doing X, Y, and Z, blah 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 blah. Okay, did you not know this when you were dating her? Because you saw this, you saw signs,
No.
but no, you did because you saw signs, and I'll say that because you saw bullshit that a person did, just like a woman. We see bullshit that a dude do, but we overlook it because we still fond of your ass. We're still looking at you like, okay, I want to still deal with him. But then when it gets to the point of this bitch here is acting a fucking fool, now we're embarrassed. But we're 6 months, a year in.
Yeah.
If you were doing embarrassing behavior when we first started dating, I'm not gonna deal with you.
But that's you.
No,
That's not everybody. Like you just told me, that's
Yeah.
me and not everybody.
No, but you just said,
Damn, my phone died.
did it?
It did.
Oh.
My phone died. But everything else is recording, but my phone died. My live died.
Hey, y'all, a lot of that.
A live
My
died.
live
I'm
died.
sorry.
This shit was good, though,
Yeah, it
for real.
was.
So the thing is, I get what you're saying, but you can't use that because you're saying that. Didn't you know that when y'all first
You
started
saw it.
dating? You're assuming that.
No.
No,
I'm not assuming that.
Let me. You tell me what I'm going to say then.
Go ahead.
So most of us have a representative when we start dating. Now, typically, I try to get the big pieces out there. I need you to know the big pieces,
Right.
the deal breakers.
Exactly.
Hey, listen, I'm not a feminist. Hey, I'm a conservative. Hey, fuck Black Lives Matter, all that shit. The stuff that
That matters.
just like, oh, nigga, hold you.
Right.
Nah, I
Basically, you come out and do the deal breakers right there on the spot.
throw it out there.
Right.
And
Typically,
typically
to let you know who you dealing with.
Right.
Right.
Now, the rest of that shit is minutia. It's little shit. But that's moldable. So if it's something like, I think it's a waste of time for me to walk all the way around a car and open the door for you, go back to my side and get in the car. I think that's silly.
Bullshit. Because I will not get in the car unless you open the door.
So if we're walking to the car and we're approaching the driver's side and you just don't go to the other side of the car and get in, you want me to walk past that, go to the passenger side?
Let me tell you something.
Hold on. Just let me finish. Let me finish. You want me to open it for you, get in and close the door, then walk back around the car instead of us just walking to the car together? I unlock it and we both get in. That's a deal breaker.
Call your friend.
Because hold on, the reason why I mentioned that is because I said the little shit is malleable.
Because the little shit to me means a lot.
Mel, you don't let me finish.
I'll let you finish. I'm sorry.
I literally said the rest of the stuff is minutia. It's malleable. If it means that much to you, I will do it. But that doesn't change.
Do you want to?
It doesn't matter. It's going to make you happy. So I'll do it. I said that's why I put the big shit out there that's not going to change. I'm always going to be against Black Lives Matter. Until things change in politics, I'm going to be a conservative.
I get it.
I am not going to be a feminist because a woman needs to be a woman and a man needs to be a man. You are not equal. None of that shit. That's not going to change, but I'll walk around the car and open the door for you. I might crack a joke, but I'm going to open the door for you. But there's other little things that can change. So I'm putting my best foot forward, and I will change my behavior based on what it is this particular woman needs. Because there may be a woman that I walk all the way around the door, call past my door to open the door for you, and she look at you like, oh, goof ass nigga, go in the car.
Yeah.
Fuck is you doing?
That's them young hoes.
That's
right,
not.
but you be surprised. It ain't young.
So you mean to tell me your wife she'll get in the car without you opening the door?
Oh no, she know. She'll stand there.
I'll
sit there and say this. It depends on the mood. It depends on
the night y'all have. Y'all
exactly.
You feeling chivalrous?
I'm like, okay, bam, I got you. Yeah. But if we get into an argument out there and this and that, she be like, nigga, fuck that. I open my own damn shit. Boom, 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 slam the door. And I'm like, okay, I already know what night this is. I know I ain't getting none tonight, but it is what it is. But I'm saying though, like he's saying this, you put what he's saying is, you putting all the major shit forward in the beginning. You know who I am, this and that. So you telling me what he's saying is, so for me not opening the door for you, that's a deal breaker.
It's not.
Right. But at the end of the day, yes, it's small things and it makes sense to y'all women, and we understand that. It's the little things that matter that adds up. What he's saying is why should that have to be a deal breaker between me and you? But I know if I put out all the 5 things I say I'm not finna change, this is what it is. Bam. All right, baby. Okay, baby. I got you.
But I would rather you put out everything and tell me what you will not accept, what you will, instead of just saying. No,
that's literally what we just said.
Right.
That's what I was saying.
No.
We talk about
major things,
like major things, like right. That's a part of him.
Me
like
opening the door for you has nothing to do with that. If that's something that you want me to do, I'll do it.
I mean, it's basically something that I want you to do.
Then you said, but do you want to? There's going to be a lot of shit that men have to do for women that they don't want to do,
and vice versa.
Yeah, you're right. They don't have to do.
Right,
that's not what I'm saying. You're making this a man versus woman thing, and all I'm trying to do is show you the different sides of men and women. The reason why I said that is because if there's something that my woman requires that doesn't change who I am as a person, she can have it. It doesn't. Man, it's not gonna take me a couple extra seconds to open the door for you. But I'm telling you, I've been around women that be like, dude, just get in the fucking car. I gotta pee. You understand what I'm saying? What are you doing? Why you walk all the way over here to open the door? You know what I'm saying? Unlock the door. Now, back in the day, when you had to unlock the door with the key and all that, that made a little bit more sense.
Yeah, listening to Alexander O'Neal and everything.
Yeah. But, I mean, I don't have no issue doing it, but that's not something I'm naturally going to do. I think it's goofy. But if my woman wants me to do that for her, I'll do it. But I'm not going to change my political beliefs behind her feelings.
Behind a door
I'm not going
opening.
to change my moral compass at what I believe behind the way she feels. If anything, I want to show her how I feel and try to bring her on to my side. That's me being a leader, because I feel like what I know is worth her learning. Now, hold on. That's why I said we need to move on. Hold on. You saw what you just did?
I did.
What did you do? Say it for the camera. Say it for the camera.
I just looked like, oh my God.
So what you just did was what that woman did when the girl snatched the mic, talked crazy and slammed the mic. Oh, mic drop. Tell him,
Yeah.
I didn't agree with that.
I'm not saying that you agree with it. It's the disagreeing with something that you are being shown.
But she did that because someone said her name. I didn't see the whole video.
Nobody said
Me
anybody's name. They all said their own name.
But did they give her time to say her name?
See,
Because I think
so once
in
again,
the midst of it, I think her name was long or something like that.
I think her last name had 3 syllables. That's not long.
Okay.
I don't know why this girl did what she did. And her narrative was that the white woman was doing it to all black people. And then other videos came out. Other students came out and said, it's bullshit.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
But my thing is, there's a need for black women to protect other black women, whether they're right or wrong.
I don't do that. I'm sorry, I don't. But I understood. I can't say I understood what she said. I only seen what she said because it actually happened to my son, Tavian, when he graduated. And I felt what she said at that moment because when he graduated from Oak Ridge High School in Conroe. And they did the Japanese young lady's name. I mean, she accented every syllable. She accented every syllable of this African girl's name. And when my son got up there, she said, and they give him the cards. Of course, they give him the cards. And she said, Travion Xavier Love. And he stood there. My son is named Tavion Xavier Love. And she looked at him like,
so she made a
nigga, why you standing there?
So she made a mistake.
She made a mistake.
Okay.
And in his defense, he looked at her like, damn.
Say my name right.
You said all of these people's names.
I get it.
Right.
I get
with
it.
syllables, exclamation points, and everything else.
Do you think she did it on purpose?
Well, see, I didn't see the whole video,
No, but-
so I didn't make an.
No. He's talking about with your son.
No. I didn't think that she did it on
Okay,
purpose.
then let it go.
Honestly,
Because a which
he,
is like
the only thing he did, he stammered for a moment because he was like, "Damn, that's not my name."
Right.
I get it, but
And I looked at it like, God damn, I waited 13 years.
Yeah,
To
but you
hear
gotta
my
think about it.
kid's
Hear a
name.
stranger say some-
But because I put it like
Across
this,
the stage.
because like with my daughter, she's 7 now, but when she do graduate, her name is Kaylee Allen.
you don't want them to be like Kylie.
Kylie,
Right, because I'll be
right.
like, hold on, because
Yes.
I wouldn't even worry about. I'll be mad.
Yeah, and
I'm
I
like,
was,
because I was like,
honestly,
shit.
I was
I'm
mad.
like, come on, man. But it's like, because the way my daughter's name is spelled is Ke apostrophe Leigh. So anybody can misspell that.
Yeah, of course.
Easy.
Unless I said your name wrong.
or even missay it.
I did.
So
I
it's
said
like-
your name wrong,
And
and you
y'all-
corrected me, and I was fine with
but y'all
that.
actually had a conversation for like 30-something minutes.
Right.
But all I'm saying, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel a certain way if your name is mispronounced. My name is Sean. Now, nowadays, that's common, right? Sean.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up being called Cian. I mean, but it's
Right. then people, and honestly, people messed my name up worse than you did. So like, that's why I said when you told me, I was like, I started laughing like Kellen. I'm like, I didn't got called Colleen, Kalon, whatever. And
I
I'm
think
like,
I
man,
called Melody.
from
Maloney.
melodies from heaven.
All that. But I mean, I'm like, dang, I don't even have a D in my name.
The thing is, though, in that graduation, they said their own name. So once again, it's irrelevant.
Yeah, and see, I didn't
irrelevant.
realize that until you actually said something.
Really?
Well, because initially,
I did not know that.
What,
I
that they
didn't
were saying
see
their own
that.
names?
Right, exactly.
No, I did
like,
not
like you
see
said,
that.
like the part that I saw is what, because the only part that they show when they show the clip is that she grabbed the mic,
Right.
and said her part.
Her
So all that
part.
other stuff that you talking about, I'd never seen that part.
No, I
None of the
didn't
students
either.
ever touched the mic, okay?
Right.
You had 2 long lines of graduates. She'd hold the mic to one side. They'd say their name and their major. And I think 1 or 2 of them were like, go Jamaica, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you go the other
To the
side.
other side.
And then, so they alternated back and forth. Now, what precipitated that, I'm not exactly sure because they don't show it. However, the girl says, you snatched the mic from me. No student ever had the mic to begin with for her to snatch it from you.
She just actually put the mic in front of their face.
Yeah. And
Oh,
then
okay.
once they said it, whatever they're going to say, they walked off and she went to the next person.
Okay.
So
I have
it's-
no idea why old girl went off for like that. So there could be a legitimate reason in her head. I doubt it. But in her
I
head,
think she was
why?
saying it was too short.
What?
I think they were. She was just putting her face in it and
once
then
again-
jerking it back or whatever.
Once again, who knows?
Yeah.
But
I
you're
wasn't
kind of
there.
inclined to lean towards, well, the woman did something.
Yeah, that's true.
Just because somebody does something to you that's slightly offensive doesn't give you the reason to live out a stereotype.
True.
Is all I'm saying. But the key takeaway from that is that there was a black woman, sounded like she was older, cheering it on.
That's what that's what egged it on. That's what made it worse. That's
Worse.
what probably what made it viral, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Just
Well,
by
no,
hearing
I
her
it.
could see
behavior
that.
made
Right.
it viral, but that woman in the background cheering it on is something that people actually keyed in
Right.
on. Like,
And that right there, Sean, honestly, and Mel, is let me see. The lady did an action that wasn't agreeable.
True.
Like you say, Sean, the people in the background, the lady eggs it on. They instigate it. That's what goes on in this world today. You could sit here and I could do something stupid, whatever. Sean, you in the back,
Egging it.
Tell 'em, nigga.
you egg
That's
it.
gonna push you.
You egg it, and don't let nobody be recording it. Because just
Yeah.
imagine somebody was recording it. They looking at my actions, but like you say, who that nigga in the background egging it on? Oh, that's a black man supporting this ignorance. So with that being said, let a black man supporting ignorance, I guarantee you it would have went further up
Yeah.
than what the woman was doing. Because like you said, we already got a bad name. We already got a bad rep as black men, especially black young men. And I'm going to vouch for that, and I'm going to stand on that. So, like, we basically got to go the extra mile just to stay out the limelight.
Right.
So, I'm like, and I agree with you on that one. Like, okay, but like I said, with the woman, she making all those,
windows.
and all that.
drop
I'm
the
like,
mic.
Yeah.
like, really?
Yeah.
Wait,
But you scrolling, but you got one post. Oh, this woman then graduated from Harvard. Blah, 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 or,
You ain't see that
or
post.
graduated with HBCU. You know, she was a black. But the main post that got the most shares and the most
Right.
DMs
Right.
is this ignorance.
Yeah.
We support more ignorance than we
Yep.
support positivity, and that's just what society is right now. It's like I could post something right now. Look, I'm on this podcast. Whoop 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 whoop. I won't get no likes, but let some nigga on over there at Popeyes blow somebody's head off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all over the news. Oh, this nigga right here. Oh, he
It
great.
will.
or I came back
Right.
from Popeyes and they got his head blown off, and I come back and I'm talking about it.
Right.
That,
It's gonna get
Not
more
a
views.
podcast about to blow up.
Exactly, because it's
Right,
all
right.
about it's negativity. That's what gets.
So do you think we kind of wallow in that? do we, as black people, do we enjoy negativity more
Yes,
than
most definitely.
a feel-good story?
That's most definitely. That's not even a conversation to even think about or a question to even think about. Because I believe like negativity, man. Like I said, you could post something positive sign all day, and because I'm a vouch for that, I could post something positive all
You get
day
1 or 2 likes.
and get yeah. But let me post something negative on my page. Oh, it's finna blow up.
And you gonna let
My,
them get a
my
lot of
mama,
comments.
my mama gonna be
1.5.
calling me. Everybody gonna be oh, that ain't. No. Let me post some. Oh, God is good. Wada on Monday.
finna get nothing about
But
that.
on Wednesday, I like, man, fuck all y'all.
What this nigga talking about?
Oh, you on some NWA top shit. You on some Tupac. Oh, well, you and your you contradiction or you know you fake. You just how you
Right.
gonna talk about God, but you just no, I'm human.
Right.
But that's gonna get more shares and likes and everything. And you got this cancel culture. Man, fuck that. I don't care about that. I stand firm on what I believe in, whether you like it or not.
I'm not.
Yes, I love Christ. I love Jesus. I love all that, but I'm still human.
Right.
I'm still going to jam my Pac. I'm still going to listen to R. Kelly. I'm still going to be me. Because I'm not finna be fake around you to make you feel good about yourself. Because the last time I checked, the roadmap to heaven is not through your yard.
Don't know you.
Now you just
Don't get me
created
started, man.
Okay.
A great
A
set.
whole
Get me
shirt.
started, man.
Okay,
Yeah.
with that being said,
Uh-oh.
let's segue. So you said
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly.
I knew it was coming.
Okay, so what is your view on R. Kelly versus Bill Cosby?
Ooh, how about you deal with those?
That's a good one.
No.
What I was gonna say is deal with R. Kelly
Yeah.
and segue into Bill Cosby because it's
Yeah, because the reason why, that's a
True.
good question. Now, the reason why I said it because,
What?
excuse me, like we were talking earlier or whatever. I'm more, I can do it to R. Kelly, but far as the Bill Cosby, I'm not all the way in tune to it. So, like I said,
Okay,
I'm
so
willing
let's
to
flow.
learn.
Let's
I'm
flow.
willing to learn
Let's flow.
about Bill
So
Cosby.
we're gonna start with R. Kelly.
Okay.
What you got?
Okay. What you
Let me close my book.
Oh, Lord.
This gonna be a minute. Let me sit up straight. This gonna be a minute. I'm getting loud. Okay, what do you feel about R. Kelly?
That's a good question.
Oh, we'll wait.
Okay. All right. Unlike other people and unlike just people period, I've learned to separate the artist from the art.
True.
That's first, let me say that first and foremost. Robert Kelly, Robert Sylvester Kelly, I don't condone his behavior. Yeah, the government name. I
He
don't
nasty.
Right. I don't condone his behavior. That's if it's all everything is he say, she say.
Right.
But from the actions and what's going on since it's been continuing 10 plus years,
10 plus.
y'all longer than that.
Yeah,
Longer
since,
than that.
93.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I can sit there and be like, okay, yeah, he has a problem, he has an issue. But I support, and I go on record, and I know this is all right, I support the music.
True.
I
You support
I
R.
support the
Kelly.
art. Yeah, I support Kels. I support the
Right.
art. I support R. Kelly. But Robert Kelly, I don't condone that. Because if he was doing that, yeah, shame on him. He deserved where he needs to be at. I hands down. I get that. So that's where I'm at with him. I can listen to his music all day and separate it. Because at the end of the day, his music then got me through a whole lot of stuff. Not this sexual stuff,
Right,
but
right.
just spiritual, just all around. Every situation that you've gone through in your life, I guarantee if you put on an R. Kelly song,
You can speak on it.
Yeah, yeah.
it'll help you
Somebody
through
knows
it
something
regardless.
about it.
It don't matter what it is. If y'all come at me with anything with a situation, I guarantee you I can back it up with an R. Kelly song.
Because I remember at one point I was like, man, you know what? I want to fly. And he came out with
Can't do.
I Believe I Can Fly.
What?
And it kind of made me no, I'm fucking with you. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Nah,
we
but
already
yeah,
know.
that's that's why I'm at with him, man. Because and another thing too, on the real, when you know how, let me say this, you know how Sean Mel, how somebody can look at you and they see the gift in you, they see the talent in you, regardless of what you're going through, they still believe in you. Even though I don't know that man personally, but just through his music, I feel like he's speaking so loud through the music that he produces that we so quiet to really what's going on with him. Because he's speaking so loud, but we don't really think about, okay, what he's really dealing with.
You know how they say hiding in plain sight?
Right. So that's where I'm at with him with that. And it's like, honestly, I still pray for him to this day. That's just how I am. Not because I don't know that man personally, but like I said, it's like, and I tell my wife, and I tell everybody, and I told my mom, I said, all that damn talent, all that damn talent, and this is what goes. It's a curse. It's something on him that I believe if he would have got help when he was supposed to get help at the time,
like after he was molested.
Right. He was molested at like 7 years old, 8 years old by his aunties and all that stuff. And it was in his book, The Solar Coaster, which you need to check it out before you judge anybody. I'm saying before you judge them, you got to read into the man. That's why I stand on what I believe in when it comes to him. Before you judge him, read into it. Like damn, this dude was really fucked up.
Yeah,
but
most
poets,
he's really
most
like
songsters, most artists, they are
right. And I said,
they're trying to let you know how fucked up they are
through
their talents.
Right, exactly. But like I said, if you're not here, YouTube is like, oh, what did you jammed, and it's like, damn. Well, and Deion Sanders, I don't know if y'all saw this. It's on YouTube. You can Google it right now. You can YouTube it right now. Deion Sanders, this was when he was in the Lord. Of course, I know he's still with the Lord or whatever, but he was standing up talking and preaching or doing something. And R. Kelly was in the crowd. And he called him to the front. And he was like, Kelly, I said, I heard your song, but didn't nobody hear you. That's when he came out with that I Wish. He said, somebody pray for me. And he said, didn't nobody hear that part. But Deion Sanders said, I heard you say that. So he prayed for him right there on the spot and had some brothers around him. Did it work? I don't know. I don't know I don't know his relationship with God. That ain't my business, and that's
ain't my pig, ain't my farm. It's normally how I say it.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Can I use that?
Hey, you can borrow that.
I like that.
So I'm like I said, I recognize talent. I'm not an artist. But I recognize good music when I hear it, and I'm gonna stick with it.
That was just like Marvin Gaye. Marvin Gaye was a sexualist. And a lot of people didn't know that.
Right, at all.
And if he had not come back to do sexual healing, he probably never would have killed his dad. I mean, never would have had his dad kill him.
Right, exactly. And a lot of people don't even know that.
And Smokey Robinson take a lot of heat for that because he's like, dang, he was over wherever he was. I think he was out of the country or something, trying to get himself right.
Right.
Because he was a true sexualist. He looked at men and women like, that's all I want to do is have sex. With somebody, anybody, I don't give a damn how old you are, anything.
A radiator.
Right.
It didn't matter.
Right.
But he was a sexualist. So when he went overseas or wherever he went, Smokey Robinson was like, hey, man, I got the song for you. You need to come back and record this.
Right.
And when he came back, that's when... if you ever listen to Sexual Healing, the long version, it is something else.
It's nasty. Listening to it on the way home.
Because think about it.
Yeah, it is something else.
Because at the end of the song, where you listen to a 102 whatever, it's like he said, masturbate. He said something about masturbating.
Yeah, masturbation. Yeah.
But right before that, they shut the song down. That's why I said when this come to search, trust me, we can go all day when it comes to music, but it's like that's That's what I'm saying. And I believe you probably mentioned that because you just never know what somebody is dealing with behind the pen.
Right.
Behind the board.
telling you.
And the fact that this nigga Kelly, he can't even fucking read and write. You know how he do his music? And I know y'all probably don't even know. And I'm going to tell y'all, he records that shit. He's recorded with a recorder because he can't write or read. He's illiterate. At 7, 8 years old, you give him. So it's like his childhood is gone. So I believe that's why. I honestly believe that's why he like young girls.
Yeah.
Because
That's all he can relate to.
Right, because he can relate to it. He
All he can
identify,
relate to.
which is sad. I'm not condoning. Like I'm gonna say this. I'm not condoning what he did. I just wish honestly he would have got help when he needed to get help. But when you that famous, you just pop in you're not thinking about that.
No.
You too busy and infatuated with everything that's around you. Came out with Honey Love, Bump and Grind, slow dance and all this type of stuff.
But I mean, that takes you back to a lot of music, period. I am a music fanatic. And people used to say, oh, I can't deal with, what's that little boy name that made, Watch Me, You, the Soldier Boy, or whatever.
Soulja Boy.
Okay, they're like, oh, he's telling about sexual. Okay, how long have people been talking about sexual innuendos in their songs?
Like Sam and Dave, Hold On, I'm Coming. They banned that from the Apollo.
No, but you got what's called it too. Now let's go back to what's called it. Go old school. Candy Liquor.
Yeah.
No, we can go back further than that.
Like what you talking about?
Olivia.
Right.
Olivia, you see, she's lost and turned out.
Oh, poor baby.
Y'all never heard that song before?
No.
Lost and turned. I think it was Four Tops or somebody that's I gotta look up the name. But she's lost and turned out.
Reference was better than Olivia.
Which one?
Sam and Dave.
Okay, but
Hold
Sam
on.
and Dave was before Olivia.
I know, but that's.
And then that guy that sings, "Ain't my ding-a-ling-a-ling." Got this song.
I mean, even if you want to take it there, let's say Lil Red Corvette. He wasn't talking about no damn Corvette.
Man, dude, do you know how long it was if I figured that out?
I still don't know what you talking about. You talking about the Prince song, right?
Yes.
Right.
Talking about her
Lil Red
vagina.
Corvette.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
I thought about a car for
Exactly.
No,
Me
she
too. I'm
was
like, that's a nice Corvette.
No,
It was a nice Corvette.
it was
give
a
me
nice
one.
Corvette.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, but people been talking about sexual stuff for years.
But it's like back then you had to. They didn't get straight to the point like it is now.
You had to figure it out.
You had to figure it out. You be like, oh, like we can talk about Teddy Pendergrass. We could talk about Marvin Gaye. We could talk about we could talk about all them, the OJs and everybody. Just whatever.
I personally don't like talking about Al Green.
But it's like it's just
That would bother you.
Because that lady died that night, and
Yeah.
people think that
She killed herself, though, right?
no, she did not. How do you put 2 bullets in your head?
I mean, she get good aim.
yeah.
Good aim.
I'm fucking with you.
No, his bodyguard killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, she threw grits on him, true enough, but they were trying to get him to get the grits off of him. His bodyguard put 2 in her head.
Yeah.
You trying to kill
So
Mom.
I mean, and then they said
don't know.
she shot herself in the back. How do you put 2 bullets in the back of your head? I think that's.
She was no, be quiet.
I mean, she had to be ambidextrous.
Yeah.
I mean, but true. You know what I'm saying? Music have been a.
But I'll say this. Because we can go into the rabbit hole about all
deep
artists
down.
that have
Yeah,
done,
yeah.
you know, because you have a lot of white artists like
we go. Yeah.
Elvis married. How old was Priscilla?
She was
Presley?
like
13?
No,
14,
Priscilla was
was like
13,
13,
yeah.
14 years old.
I mean,
yeah.
so it's that's why when R. Kelly, when it came out that he married Aaliyah and the
Right.
birth, I remember
Yeah.
Source magazine. They
the
birth
marriage
certificate in
license.
there.
Not the
The
birth
marriage
certificate,
license.
marriage
Yeah.
license.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We were like, now this was early 90s.
Right.
So the attitude about all that was different, but also by the same token, it was Aaliyah. So she was already a star. So we tend to put them, everybody let it slide.
Right. They did.
So it's not
Even
like
on parents.
Right. It ain't like it was like, okay.
okay. So time goes on, and I start hearing stories in the '90s about R. Kelly, and I was in Virginia in the Navy. About him going like after school at
high
the
school.
McDonald's,
At the McDonald's.
Yeah.
hanging out and shit. I'm like, huh. Then I put 12 play back on and just listen.
Yeah.
And then go a little bit further. This thing happens. This thing happens. After a certain point, I was like, I'm not sure if I like this nigga.
Right.
Still jamming. So at a long time ago, I created that partition in my brain where it's like, I don't like this nigga. However,
I like his music.
I do like his music.
But you
So-
don't like Robert Kelly. You like R. Kelly.
So I don't do that because it's kind of like, well, did he say nigger with the hard ER or the A? It doesn't matter. You said nigga,
Right.
so I don't.
The UH.
Right.
It's the same motherfucker.
That's true.
You did what you did.
Right.
To
Yeah.
this girl, and an hour later you recorded "Step in the Name of Love."
Right.
Yeah.
I realized they're two different things.
Right.
So I can easily listen to 12 play and it don't bother me a iota.
At
But
all.
having said that, I have a special disdain for niggas that fuck with little girls.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
I mean, and I just, dude, I
That is
don't
true.
care what happened to you
That is true.
as a kid. Not my
All right.
problem. That was something for you and your people to figure out. Y'all
To
didn't do
figure
it.
out, but then who did figure it out?
So
Because honestly, I think
this
that
is what you do in return. Your aunts and anybody else that, don't get me wrong, horrible.
yeah,
And I do like the fact that now, because back in the day when I was younger, it was if an old woman did something to a young man,
That's different.
oh nigga, at least she. And
Right.
it was different for what? No, they're both the same.
Yeah.
You screwed
Right.
that person up because it's a child.
Right.
That being said, I still don't care because what you ended up doing, you became something much worse. You became somebody that had a lot of money and influence.
And power.
You had a lot of
Yeah.
power.
Yeah.
And you had the dreams of people that want to be something in your palm of your hands. And you took that
And you killed
and
it.
manipulated it into something perverse. The only thing that I will say is there's a lot of other people that need to be locked up in the cell next to R. Kelly.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Their
The
parents.
parents,
Yeah.
Their parents.
the bodyguards,
Everybody.
His
manager,
wife.
Right. His wife. Yeah.
wife.
His
They, 'cause
wife.
they knew about it.
So the only grace I'll give that dude is that he got a raw deal because he should have company.
Yeah, he should
Yeah.
have a bunch of company.
Other than that, I have no sympathy.
It should be a whole timeshare over there with them.
And I've been preaching at because I didn't podcast. I maybe thank God because if I had talked about it enough, people like, nigga, you the reason R. Kelly.
You are the reason.
I would have went at that nigga. It should be a capital offense
It should be.
to mess with a child. But I don't want to go rant on that.
Right.
But you took your pain, and instead of, and I can't tell you how to deal with that pain, but I'm gonna criticize you if you do what he did.
Right.
You took that pain, and instead of using that to protect
And help.
other children,
Right.
you
Yeah.
used
You
it
use that against. Yep.
against them to be even more threat than what was visited upon you.
Right.
Totally agree.
And with having said all of that, ooh, that nigga be jamming.
Totally agree.
But it's
He
just
jamming. And
Totally agree.
trust me, I've made my peace with it.
Totally
I'm
agree.
listening to this music.
but it's like
He's where he needs to be.
right, exactly.
He
That's
is.
what I said. I'm gonna say that. I'm keep saying it because when it's fun to shine a male high, you sit there. Oh, you listen to music, but you support her. No, you can separate it.
Yeah.
You
I'm
can
not,
separate.
buying, I'm not gonna
Right.
buy
I
nothing
ain't buying
from you.
shit.
Right.
But the music exists. I'm not gonna freaking ignore
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Hell, shit. It's timeless. You can
It
can
really
listen to,
is.
like you said, you can listen to 12. Hell, I still listen to TP2, and that's his classic album.
Yeah.
You think it's better than 12 play?
To me, TP2 is better than 12 play.
Oh,
That's my opinion.
we're gonna fight about that.
We can talk about that. We can go song for song on that album, even though the TP2 had more songs. But
It's like Machiavelli or Me Against the World, that type of deal. It depends.
I gotta go with Me Against the World.
But
Yeah, I love me.
you can argue.
But I gotta go with Me Against the
Me
World.
Against the World.
I'm sorry, but if you would have said All Eyes on Me and Me Against the World,
Okay, wait.
that would have been different.
Oh, all eyes on me.
All Eyes on Me was something serious.
That's different.
See it.
Nah, I'm taking.
But
Ooh,
no,
we
check
going
it
off on a
out. But check it
tangent.
out.
The
No,
reason why I
hold
say
on,
that-
hold on.
And we can reduce this.
Hold on. The reason why I said okay. Let me back up. I'm gonna go with Me Against the World against All Eyes on Me. The reason why I say that. All Eyes on Me had some jams. It had some stuff, but Me Against the World had content. Content.
But it's
I'm talking about
it's
content.
One even bigger than that.
So, I'm just saying.
You right.
Content.
Me Against the World, I think, is probably Tupac's greatest album. However, there are days when I like Machiavelli more. The reason why All Eyes on Me, to me, would never be his top 4 is because it was more like I just got out of jail party album.
Right.
You had all of the best producers. You had all,
Yeah, he had everybody.
Jodeci, you had.
Man,
You had everybody.
You had Troutman on it.
Yeah, Robert Troutman.
Robert,
Yeah.
You
had Nate Dogg, George Clinton, Nate Dogg. You had a lot.
Everybody. So that wasn't
That's
the
true.
same as him carrying.
His load
own,
by himself.
by
So I
himself,
feel like
yeah.
Me Against, right. Me Against the World.
Okay.
Me Against the World, far as content. That's I'm gonna stand on that one right there. Far as content, to the point where you listen to it and it's making you think.
Right.
Like you said, All Eyes on Me ain't nothing but a gangster party. I won't deny it. I'm a straight rider. You don't wanna fuck with me. Yeah. Then what's called Machiavelli had a lot of content too.
Love it.
That's a great album.
But my favorite
great
song,
album.
but honestly, my favorite song on that Machiavelli, crazy. But don't give me. I'm sorry. I'm like was that damn To Live and Die in L.A.
Oh, okay.
I love it.
But to me, that was like a radio cut. It
Right.
sounded good,
Right.
But like White Man's World,
Yeah, that
know what I'm
had
saying?
content. Yeah, blasphemy. That blasphemy.
Bomb
Ooh, that
first.
content. Yeah, bomb.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
he had
let's get back. Right.
Yeah, let's
I'm
get
gonna
back.
turn it into short. I'm gonna turn it into short.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with that being said, R. Kelly, we segue into Bill Cosby.
Why are you doing a Sean impression? Sean, we keep
I had to give it that
we
Sean.
gonna keep mentioning your name.
Yes, I have to segue to my girl. So,
Christ. Sean, you can get me back all you want to. You can fire me. I don't care.
you done got fired 5 times, Sean. I'm sorry. But anyway, so with R. Kelly being what it is,
Right.
and we've already understood it,
Right.
what do you feel about, let's segue into Bill Cosby, another headliner, another great influence, another TV influence, another black man.
But the crazy thing about
Legendary.
it too. Crazy thing about it is, I remember the Bill Cosby situation happening on top of the R. Kelly allegations. Before Surviving R. Kelly came out, it was Bill Cosby. If I ain't,
Yeah, I'm
let
mistaken.
me-
You're right.
You are correct,
Right.
but
But-
one caveat,
What?
just to add to your add to what you're going to say. Once again, I was against Bill Cosby. I've been knowing about this shit since.
Yeah.
Right, I remember us talking about that. So,
Okay.
but for me, I didn't know nothing about this Bill Cosby situation until it actually hit the fan. So when I heard it, I'm like, no, not because in my mind before, of course, y'all knew it, and y'all in my mind though, as a young cat, I'm looking at Bill Cosby as the father of father of TV. He's a TV dad.
Right. Yeah.
And the stuff he stood for and blah, 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 whatever, and them pudding pop and all that, and all that bullshit. And hey,
yeah.
All that. So
Fat
you think of that, Fat Albert, it's big ass. But it's like, then they made a real movie out of it. So it's like, cool.
I did like the movie though.
Yeah, the movie was trash. But anyway.
You never seen it?
Nah.
My kids
it ain't worth it. But it ain't worth it.
The kids loved it.
Right. So it's like with all that going on, it's like you're not. So when they hit you, I'm like, damn, he did all that like that. Then, like I was saying with Mel, like, why did most of these women wait till he was damn near 80 years old? But she explained to me the statute of limitations, and then once the money run out, then we coming for you.
And there's one more little piece of that as well. All of this really hit the fan with the Me Too movement. And so it's a lot of even white folks that was getting drawn in shit that they did back in Weinstein, Kevin Spacey, which I loved as an actor.
I loved Kevin Spacey. I ain't gonna even lie.
And The Negotiator?
The Negotiator.
That's my movie right there. The Negotiator.
What's the one with the roses? Where his next door neighbor ended up killing him. Not American Pie. American Beauty.
I don't think I've seen that. I'm so used to The Negotiator.
All about that
Wasn't
movie.
Good?
Yes.
I think Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil.
Yes.
Man, Kevin Spacey was that guy.
Yeah, when they did the Me Too movement, that brought out a lot of people.
That's when.
Okay. So I'm like, okay. So when they was talking about, like I said, Bill Cosby or whatever, I'm like, damn, like wow, So I didn't know nothing until it was right there presented to me. So basically, every post, every story that they brought up, I was learning from it. Right. I didn't know, like saying you knew some stuff and you did your reading. Because at that time, I wasn't thinking, you're not thinking like, okay, let me do my research. Because you're not thinking that because you're so kind of like, damn, Bill, you ain't finna go home and research like, damn, you still. Then me, I'm like, they better not fuck with my boy, kid. That's how I was thinking. That's what my mind was.
You're in protect mode.
Right.
So I'm like, cool. So I'm like, damn, this don't make no sense. And I didn't like entertain the stuff on social media because they was tearing his ass up.
They were.
On social media. They making memes and everything over there. And all that when he thought he was going to beat that case, he was like, he was like, he's talking about and then what's got Mike Epps, he did a segment on his stand-up. He was like, I can't see. The tip tap your ass in that damn cell. But he was a mess. I didn't. I was like, wow. And then to this day, I'm like, you believe it, but you can't believe it.
You know what? I honestly was more angry at the people he didn't want to help.
Yeah.
Okay, let me say this. I'm not saying that drugging someone is not a bad thing. Please don't think that that's not what I'm saying. Are you
sure, Mel?
No, because that is disgusting. If you gotta do that, I'm not condoning that in no type of way. But what
the butt was coming.
But what I was reading and looking at was, the people that you refused to help back in the day, back to saying that, if you're doing X, Y, and Z, you open up a whole club and say, if you bring drugs in here, I'm not going to help you. Dude, you were drugging women for your own sexual purpose. But you refuse.
They were all doing drugs or using drugs for their own. So I may not do drugs, but a lot of them were doing Quaaludes and shit like that.
I mean,
I'm gonna give you the drugs you want. You come party with me. Whether I'm, but he
was more so like, if you do drugs, I don't fuck with you at all.
No, I get what you're saying, but he obviously used drugs. He just didn't take them himself.
Right.
But that whole atmosphere, because the 70s was fucked up.
Yeah.
The late 60s
was a mess.
Man, that shit sound fun.
But
it was fucked. I'm talking about just the party. The party.
Because everybody was in drugs.
Yeah, everybody was like that.
Yeah, I would have loved to experience some of that stuff because I used to party back in the day.
Right.
And so I'm not foreign to that
Atmosphere.
that lifestyle.
That
Like,
lifestyle,
you know, I've
yeah.
done powder and shit like that.
Yeah.
And we've been to not just the after hours, but the after hours.
After
Right.
I know how.
Right, how it go down.
I know how it go down.
Right.
You know, so there's no telling what happened. But I still think for somebody like, to your point, for somebody on such a high moral ground,
Right.
for you to go at people like, because you got a little something to add to that too, Eddie Murphy and people that, Richard Pryor, people that you shunned because of the way they spoke.
Right.
Not
Right.
necessarily
Exactly.
because
And what they-
of anything else that they were doing.
Right.
And then you
Right.
turn around
And do
do
that.
what you did. Now, not do what you did. Let me stop saying that. Be involved in the shit
Yeah.
that you was involved in.
Involved in, right.
Now, when Cosby Show in a different world, because they come in back to back, Cosby
Right.
Show in a
Right, the
different
same
world.
producers,
think
I
was there.
believe. Yeah.
Just like most of the hood, I was there.
Right.
I'm, you know, and because of him and the content he put out, that was one of the first times that I ever actually considered going to college. I was like, man,
Wow.
the way it looked for him in School Days,
Because it
Spike
looked
Lee.
good.
School
yeah,
Days.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
They
school,
made it look so good.
But man, how cool is that? I'm not following somebody that make the hanging on the block look good.
Right.
I'm following somebody that make going to college look good.
And cool.
Right.
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 And then
Look
you
real
turn
good.
around and you went on this tour to with these white folks talking so bad about black people and how you know, you don't want me to put out your dirty laundry. Your dirty laundry get out of school at 3. And just really going in on the nigga. And a little bit of me was like, well, you know, his son was killed.
Right.
Maybe that's part of it. He sees us wasting the opportunities we have when he's giving everything to his son and his son died. And I empathize with that a little bit, but then you just kept going. Then I see how you treat people who you thought weren't moral, especially being an immoral person. So you start feeling a certain type of way about the nigga. And so when I start hearing about some of the shit you was doing,
Right.
that you was into, I felt a certain way about him. And so I start telling people, I like, Bill Cosby, he might try to do this, that by NBC, whatever.
yeah.
I like, yeah, but he raped bitches too.
Yeah. But then
nigga, you
that's
just-
when a lot of that stuff started coming out.
I got you. But I resented him for the way you made me feel, for the way you talked about my people when I looked up to you,
Right.
really since Fat Albert. You might learn something too. You know what I'm saying? And then you turn around and act like that.
Yeah.
Now, I said all of that about him. When I saw him in court, half blind,
Didn't
and I'm
give a
looking
fuck.
at him as an old man. I know. I looked at him as an old man, and I start realizing a lot of stuff that they're bringing up charges on is old. And I'm not saying just because it's old that the person that, because I just got through railing against R. Kelly, right?
Yeah.
These were adults. And it was a very long time ago. I felt a little bit of that love for Bill Cosby that I had when the Cosby Show was out, when A Different World was out. I started feeling that, looking at this old man, and y'all waited all of this time
Yeah.
to lock him up. It felt wrong. And if you can go back that far in somebody's past and bring that up and not only denigrate them for it, but also put them in prison, that felt wrong to me. So I kind of did a pivot. He ain't my favorite person in the world, but I just feel like what happened to him was morally wrong. And we can talk about karma, but
Yeah.
I'll let you talk first.
No, you go ahead.
No,
I know
because
you
what I
strong.
might say,
I'm learning right now. I'm learning right now.
Because I'm just speaking from the heart. I'm telling you.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I totally understand it. But at that point, I looked at him like, okay, so if I killed your mom, when is it morally compass to bring me to the forefront?
Never.
If I've lived my life,
Never.
if I've lived my whole life,
I don't give a fuck if you're 90.
exactly.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got you.
So when is it okay to say, oh damn, why y'all wait this long? I don't give a fuck.
Got you.
I don't care.
Right.
I don't care. You killed my mom. So I don't give a damn if you 85 years old and you was 17 when you did it. When is the right time for you to bring this man up to the forefront? Do you see how many lives you stepped on to say my life was better?
Yeah.
You stepped on Eddie Murphy, Robin Williams, Robin Harris.
Yeah.
You stepped on all of these people to tell Richard Pryor to tell them
He attacked-
y'all last not good enough.
He attacked Tommy Davidson and Jamie Foxx for booty call, which I thought was
That shit was funny.
But you felt like your theory was okay to say y'all ass ain't good enough to sit in this room with me and these other white folk because I'm about to buy NBC. And you know what them white folks said? Nigga, who you finna buy? You ain't finna buy nobody. Because what we finna do is throw this realm out there and we finna reel your motherfucking ass in.
Do y'all let me ask y'all this. If he wasn't in that room trying to buy NBC, do y'all believe this shit would have came out about him?
Never.
I do.
It wouldn't have.
Eventually?
Because I don't think it had anything to do. It maybe it had the motivation behind the machine that got it going. Possibly had something to do with him trying to buy NBC. Was it NBC?
It was NBC.
NBC is the climate that we're in, and it started back then. It's the Me Too movement. It's we finna toxic masculinity.
His wife wasn't no better.
Well, we're talking about. I get it. It's always an enabler, but the environment was ripe for it. Hey, you know what? Somebody did something to me, and it caught on. It's like, oh shit, we can go back.
Yeah.
And then
There you go.
everybody
Yeah,
says,
There
like,
you go.
yeah, if
It was like
There you go.
Russell
Yeah.
Simmons left the country. He's in Bali.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I remember like during that time he was dealing with shit too.
Yeah.
Because all
Yeah.
of them did. Excuse me. All of them did.
Unless you're
Yeah.
a Clinton, you
You can't get it. Yeah,
if you're a Clinton, they're gonna ban us. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
Just say banished.
yeah.
But I don't condone sexual harassment. I don't condone things like that. But if you're guilty of it, if you know that you did it,
What? Take your punishment? They're not gonna do that.
nigga.
A criminal is not going to accept punishment.
at all.
But if I come for you,
yeah. So should there be a time limit on anything?
again, if I killed your mom
No,
and
no,
I
no.
was 17
But
when I did it,
I mean, I get it. That's just an extreme example. Should there be a time limit on how far, just in general?
it just depends on what
What
it
if
is.
you said something on the internet 12 years ago?
Like
Twitter.
what?
Yeah, you just made a risky tweet.
I don't give a shit about that. had you ended someone's life that I truly loved, then yeah, I will come for your ass.
There's a really horrible joke that I have, and I will not. I can't tell
no,
it.
you can tell it after we're done.
Don't
Mine-
tell it.
But I was saying, what if I tweeted this joke, and a couple of people laugh or whatever, and it's gone, and then I run for
They gonna bring this shit back up.
I'm gonna bring that up.
Yeah, just like what's call it, Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
When they he was going for he was trying to host
going for the
Oscars. They
Oscars.
brought up a tweet that was
About
like
the
10,
dollhouse
15,
with the
10,
sun
15
and-
years ago. They brought that up and that killed him.
Well, he stepped aside because
Yeah.
he wouldn't apologize.
Right. So yeah, because he stood, because what he tweeted, he meant it. But the fact that they brought it back up, it's like, man, y'all nigga tweet stuff from.
But see, that personally, okay, if I'm able to say what I want to say, or if I have that freedom of speech, that
Right. Why you holding it
why are
against
you
me?
pulling that up and holding
Right.
it against me?
Because you don't have freedom of speech anymore. Well, you know, I take about you do, but they've made the consequence for speaking your mind, you know, pretty freaking harsh, man.
Right. You gotta. Yeah.
You actually got to just shut the hell up.
Thank you.
But
Yeah.
but you
Yeah.
can't.
Literally, you
Yeah.
have to shut
gotta
the hell up.
You can't because
In anyone.
But that means you can't have an opinion because
don't.
it
Right.
doesn't matter
but
what
you got too, like you can't say nothing, but you got this so BS cancel culture, which I fucking hate. Honestly, I'm sorry to hate.
Cancel or cancer?
Cancel.
Oh, cancel.
Like
okay.
you cancel, like for
You ever heard
example.
of cancel culture? Oh goddamn,
No,
Mel.
like,
Man, I don't know
seriously,
where the
man.
fuck
Like,
I've
look,
been.
check it out. If I say something, if I go on social media right now, and I say something that's offend the LGB, whatever, or if
XYZ,
right,
GR.
if I
See, that
say
was offensive.
right,
You
if
get
I-
canceled for that.
right, exactly. You know what I'm saying? If I say something that I don't like about them, I can sit there and get a message. I get canceled, this and everything. I get
And
a whole.
cancel don't mean that people are not going to watch him on the internet. They're
Right.
going to go after his job.
Yeah,
And
they're
they're
gonna come-
put so much pressure on his job that he will lose.
Serious?
I would lose my
Never heard of
job.
cancel culture.
Yes.
I've never
Yes.
ever.
We're ta-
Maybe I guess I blocked that
No,
out
no, no.
because
'Cause you know-
I just totally don't feel like
'Cause you know what started-
I shouldn't be able to say
Because you know
anything
what started
about-
that cancel culture stuff? The Me Too movement. Once that Me Too movement and the Black Lives Matter start, that movement right there,
Masculine.
seriously, that it just happened like 2 or 3 years ago, especially right before COVID.
It was before that.
But it was really hard. It was really like popular during COVID, even before and after. Like seriously, and of course with the Kelly and the Bill Cosby stuff and all that, with all that going on,
Kanye West.
the Kanye West
Canceled.
cancel.
he need to be canceled.
It's canceled,
Why?
but you cancel somebody for 6 months and then you back on their bandwagon. So it's like, what are y'all doing? Like, what is this? So it's like it's a wave. It's like everybody is following it. I'm gonna cancel you because you said this,
Wow.
but let me back door.
I think social media
just like what's
has
called
done too much.
just like what's called what he said about the Jews, Nick Cannon.
What did he say?
They was gonna cancel him, but he came back and backdoored and apologized, so he won't get canceled.
Now Kanye won't.
Right?
They said the same thing.
Yes. I'm telling you.
I
I'm
thought
serious.
they were like under a rock.
So it's
Yes.
you can bend the knee.
I can do it.
Bend the knee. You could
Colon
Bow
pack.
out.
Colon pack.
capitulate.
Yeah.
Oh,
Colon. Yeah.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee. Literally.
Right.
Bend the knee. Or I'm gonna stick by my words. Okay, so you gonna stick by what you said.
Right.
You was a billionaire. Now you worth 500 million.
damn! From a billionaire to 500.
He's worth 2.
Who?
Kanye.
Colon. Kanye.
Damn! They took him down like that.
They the
You still think it's right?
his what's called? They took his with Adidas.
Yeah, they could.
Oh, yeah. I knew they took that.
Up in Adidas,
Right. They
Yeezys.
pulled that.
Yeah,
Yeah. They pulled all that. Yeah.
A lot of people start messing with him. So it's not about whether or not you agree with him. It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
You don't have to agree with the nigga. And I don't agree with about 60% of the shit he says.
Shit, 70%.
However, everything that dude says is not wrong, in my opinion.
So you need to pull a Sade. You just need to get off the grid and go live in
Well, that's the thing. But
Maldives somewhere.
The thing is, this is supposed to be a free country.
How free is it?
Exactly. It ain't.
How free is it? Let's just be 100. How
Well, my
free
thing,
is
why-
it?
I don't understand how you can. You got a social media platform. You got your own page. You got it, but you can't. You gotta watch what you say because you're gonna offend somebody.
And we're not even talking about you throwing the F-bomb
Right.
and all of this other stuff. kill this certain
Right.
demographic.
We ain't coming at that. We're not coming at you that angle.
But we're just now we're me. I always watch what I say, but you. Oh, I do. I do. See, even with some of the shit I say,
because I'm gonna say something and it probably.
You know, I'm bring Sean up again because she ain't here. But
I love you, Sean.
we on the other channel, Sean brought up a dating story that she had, and she just telling her experiences, or her experience in this instance, and the guy that she went on a date with, he said, "Well, you know, my ex-girlfriend thought I was gay, da 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 da," and Sean went out with the dude, and they went somewhere, and Beyonce came on. This nigga started twerking, and so she told that story. My niece was on that episode, and the people on her live start going in on Sean for simply recounting
What she did.
what she went through. It had nothing to do with Sean even voicing her opinion about anything. It was just, this happened to me. Well, the effemination, pussification of black men. If a nigga feel like he want to toot his ass out and twerk, he should be able to do it. I humbly disagree.
I'm with you right there.
But that's
It's a problem.
Instance,
It's
that was a problem.
Right, but it's a problem regardless, whether you say it or not. It's like, oh, you got something against. No, I don't.
I don't.
Right, but I'm saying, that goes, me and you we don't agree with that, but if we go public with that, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole problem.
Somebody we gonna get our ass towed up on
I'm not
media.
gonna attack a dude in public twerking like that.
Right.
I might look at you crazy than a motherfucker, but that's legal, and I should be able to do that.
Right, because my thing is, when I go out and I see stuff, my facial expressions
Will tell it all.
Will tell if that. But if I know I'm in a sensitive, I'm the type of person, I'll turn my head and I'll think it in my head. Because I know if I say something or if my facial expression say something, you just never know who's watching you. They'll come up to you, and at that time, now you invalidate my space. Now it's gonna be a problem. Now we gotta throw hands because you in my space and you coming at me sideways or something. Hey, that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
But I'm not against what you're doing. But my thing is, why you doing it around
Me.
Well, no,
around me?
nigga,
You know,
I'm
I'm
right
just,
too.
I'm
You
just
know what I'm
saying,
saying?
you
Just
have
keep it
every
100.
right. You have every right. But I'm like,
Yeah, but you can't. So you know what? You can look, maybe even say something, but typically, and this is what I do in public. I see a lot of shit I don't agree with.
right.
Anytime I see a chick out in public in pajamas and a bonnet and shit, I feel a certain way about it.
Especially if it's a silk bonnet.
I am offended. I
However,
really am offended.
I'm not gonna say
Right.
or do anything, and then because this is a black chick,
Because you'll get canceled?
No, I just don't want no beef with this black chick. Is she already gangster enough to leave the house in a bonnet
Right.
and pajamas and fuzzy slippers?
I just
SpongeBob.
be mad when a dude is with her.
I'm not fitting to
No.
say a motherfucking thing to this
Me
broad,
either.
man,
I
because she
won't.
harder than me.
Let me tell you something.
I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna be like, God.
But
damn.
you got to have the same. You got to have the same energy for Twan over there twerking. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
If he
But
feels like he need to do it, to just
Right.
Yeah,
But
let him do it.
But my thing
I got an
is,
issue with all of it.
but my thing is, okay, you know how they say, okay, if you got a problem with something, if it that, do we have a right as men, Sean? And this is a question that I would love to know the answer to, or just if we see something that we don't agree with, do we have the right as men to go over to that dude and put him to the side, out the way, and let him know, hey man, what's going on? You good? Do we have a right or do we not have a right to do that as of today?
I'll answer that like this. All right, and I always like to give anecdotes and stories.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Me too.
So last week, big news story. This woman goes into the hot dog stand in Chicago to get some food, her and her son, or her son is in the car, 14-year-old. Something transpires between her and, you know what I'm talking about? Something transpires between her and something transpires. I keep starting over.
Yeah.
Something happens between her and this black dude named Jerome Brown.
So is she white?
No.
No, she was black.
The chick is named Carlisha Hood.
Okay.
And the reason why I
Carlisha
give
is
you
black.
names like this is a big story.
It's back. I have never heard anything about it.
I'm
Oh,
gonna learn today.
No,
You're
you
gonna
gonna
learn
learn
today.
today?
Yeah, we're gonna
you,
learn
if,
today.
you know, if you throw it on TikTok, you may get a quick summation of it. But I would type into Google. Very important that you do this. Actually, we always say we're gonna do something.
Right.
After
Right.
the
I
fact.
want to know.
So the woman's name is Carlisha Hood. I think she's 42 or somewhere around that age.
Is that with a K?
Because he's doing
Actually,
it now.
I think it's a C.
Carlisha.
Hood. It should pop right up.
Carlisha Hood, Chicago.
There you go. All right, stay
Okay.
right there. Stop right there.
All right, I will.
She goes into the hot dog stand and to get her food that she ordered online or whatever.
Okay.
She gets into it with a guy named Jerome Brown. Jeremy Brown.
Jeremy.
Oh.
Okay. So
Okay, all right, okay.
video starts. The reason why I say it like this is because I'm telling you what happened. I don't know what happened.
How
Okay,
it
now
happened,
I see it.
yeah.
Okay,
Video
okay. I remember this.
starts.
Okay.
Woman, get your food. Get your food. The woman. Get your food. Oh, my grandmama, go get your food.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me stop. Did she just leave her food somewhere, or
No,
did she?
I think they ordered it online, and she went to get her food, and the food wasn't right.
Okay.
So she was holding up the line, I think.
Oh, okay.
I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
I think. I don't know. And he said, if you say another word, I'm going to knock you out. She continues to talk. He hits 3 times.
He hits her.
Yeah. It looked like you're trying to knock out for real. He didn't do it. That motherfucker got an iron jaw or whatever, but she did not go down.
Did she swing back?
No. Her son walks up with a pistol and shoots the nigga. He runs out of the store. He runs behind him and shoots him 2 more times, kills him. They get arrested, charged with murder.
Wait.
Wow.
Was this young guy and the older lady
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was standing there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
And so they get charged with murder. Eventually, they dismiss it. They get away with it. Now, this is big debate on TikTok or on social media.
Yeah.
in general.
It was real big. Yeah.
Should she have been arguing with the nigga? Well, this is America. She can do what she wants.
But did he start arguing with her?
We don't know.
We don't know.
That's
We
why
just
I-
picked
See,
up the
let's
video
pick
where
up
it
the
picked
video.
up.
That's why
Okay.
I
Right,
left
right.
all of that. I have no
Right,
idea.
because
got
we
you.
don't know the detail. It just picks
Right.
up on
Whoever picked up the
I'm not
video.
gonna put it
Yeah.
on her because the thing is she was calm than a motherfucker.
She was.
Yeah.
And wasn't a guy standing next to her? An older man?
Yeah, well, that's my point. So a lot of the comments are black women, and I'm not trying to demonize black women, man, but y'all are a problem.
respectfully.
Respectfully. Y'all are
Not
a
you.
problem. And let me tell you why.
Oh.
Let me tell you why.
Please tell me why.
And I know people are going to disagree. I don't give a shit.
I got you, ladies.
This is the problem. Remember we talked about the football player and the girl went and called her brothers and shit? Y'all are a problem.
Some of us are a
You doing it
Don't
again.
say
You doing
y'all.
it again.
Y'all
Well,
are
that's
broad
understood.
spectrum. Y'all are a broad spectrum. Say some.
I'm just talking. If this doesn't apply to you, remove yourself from the equation.
Well, I
But if this
removed.
any part of this applies to you, do better. Like with Randolph, football player, and the girl go and get her brothers, and they come run a goofy ass over there and get shot. Yeah. She did have an opportunity to shut the fuck up. She doesn't have to. Does not have to. And if she doesn't, it doesn't give him the right to put his hands on her. But if you're arguing with an idiot, you're gonna get hands put on you. I need you to have some situational awareness. But if you don't have it, that's fine. He still should not put his fucking hands on you. That young man did exactly what he was supposed to do.
Who? What young man?
Her son.
Whose son?
The woman.
Oh, that lady's son? Oh, of course.
Shot and killed.
Of course.
He did what he was supposed to do.
I am not mad at that situation.
He's going to suffer for it.
I'm not mad at that situation because the way that he hit that older lady was a mess.
She wasn't an older lady.
She was older
42.
than him.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Still, if I have
when you say older lady, I think 70, 80.
No,
this is just a chick.
But real
this
talk,
is just a chick.
Real talk. Real talk. I'm a fighter.
This is just so broad.
I'm a fighter. If I have my hands down, or if you have your hands down, I'm not about to punch you.
You know what? No. It doesn't matter if you had your hands, because even if you had your hands up, you're not a threat to me. It's your mouth. Okay, but
your mouth is gonna get you.
I'm not justifying it, Mel. Did you hear everything I said before that? I'm not justifying
her mouth.
It's your mouth. Now, that's not the issue, though.
What could I have said to you so wrong?
Just don't say nothing.
But you telling me get my damn.
You don't know this nigga.
You don't know me.
He could have killed her.
I could have killed you.
Okay. Do you see? Okay. My whole point is, Bill. My whole point is, it's none of that. I'm recounting the story, and I want to touch on some key things.
Touch.
Along the way. Mm-hmm. This is the reason why I brought it up. You know who they blamed it on? Yeah. Them old ass men in that store for not stepping up and doing something.
Oh, boy.
Well,
it was just one older guy, right?
Supposedly it was two, but both of them were. One, I think the witness said one was 80 and one was a little
when
younger.
In the hell oldest was supposed to
So in the comment sections of a lot of the videos I watched, my grandfather, he whooped a nigga at a store with a cane because the nigga was being disrespectful. Say, y'all live in a fucking fantasy world where you get into the middle of something in public and niggas jump out with their capes on. And you know how many niggas with capes in the fucking cemetery?
Right.
Do you really expect me, when you had every opportunity to shut the fuck up, to come in and defend you and put myself at risk where I don't get to go home and be with my kid and my wife?
See,
were you acting feminine enough for me to take up for you?
Again,
or were
you didn't see
hold
the
on.
video.
But still, though,
That's
your mouth,
the
mouth.
The dude could have been completely in the wrong from the very beginning.
So you don't want me to say nothing?
You can say no. I put out this, Sean.
Oh,
no. Hold on. You can say something,
Wait a minute.
but be limited to what you're saying.
If you're cursing me,
I'm not cursing you.
I'm not gonna say nothing.
Mel,
you can say something.
You have every opportunity. Every right to do and react the way you want. I don't know you.
I don't know you.
Hold on. Why does it all of a sudden become my responsibility to protect you so that you can protect that masculine side of you that wants to argue with a stranger?
I don't want you to protect me.
Did I say that? I don't think you do. But people were criticizing the men that didn't have anything to do with it.
Exactly,
I get that. I get that part. That's not the part that I'm arguing.
Oh, okay.
The part that I'm arguing is, okay, so if I'm getting my food, why in the hell are you saying anything to me?
I agree with you. That's not my argument at all.
I could be a fucked up, psychotic ass bitch.
I get it.
But why are you saying something to me?
I get it.
So that means to me, I should not say nothing.
I did not say that. What I'm telling you.
Okay, because that's what I got out of it. I'm not talking about the older
I don't care,
men.
Mel. I don't care
need them to
what
say
you
anything.
do. Listen. I want you to listen to hear, not to respond.
Right.
I don't give a damn what you do. You have. I said this is America. True. You have every right to respond the way you want to.
Exactly.
I would advise you not to get into arguments with random niggas. And if that random nigga tells you I'm about to say another word and I'm going to knock you out, and you say another word that tells me, if I'm watching, that tells me, oh, she don't give a fuck. So when the nigga actually hits you, I'm not coming to your defense because he gave you fair warning. That doesn't mean he's right. But once you spoke after he told you to shut the fuck up, that led me to believe that you're about that life. I'm not going.
Right, I'm not finna step in.
That's you
and
I
save
don't
you.
want you to.
But that's what's going. No.
You don't want me to, but I just got through saying one of the biggest criticisms about that incident
is why we didn't step in and do something.
I got what you're saying. What you're saying.
That's what he's saying. Like you sit there and say, oh, well, but what he's saying is what the media is saying behind it is why us standbyers, black men, didn't step in and do something.
I wouldn't. Because that's 9 times out of 10. That's how people get killed.
Absolutely, right. But
no, and exactly. I'm not asking you to step in, and I'm not saying that they should have. No.
But people that weren't there are
they're always opinionated.
They're saying what the next man should have did. If I was there, I wouldn't have done a motherfucking thing.
Right? Because like everybody else say. Oh, I would but you wouldn't, because if you in the situation,
because you seen it from
ain't
start
no telling
to
what's gonna happen.
You don't know.
You seen it from
you
start
don't know.
to finish.
And it's not to typecast Chicago, but it's Chicago.
Yeah,
I mean, the nigga told you to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, Chicago. That's a whole nother situation.
And you know what? I can say this. Now, I didn't look for the older men or the man that I did see around her to say anything. I don't know what that man's condition was. I don't know what he's living like. I don't know nothing about that man. But if, like you said, if that man said, say another motherfucking word and this shit is over. Okay, so you said that. So now if you say that to me and I pull a 357 from behind my back,
that's excessive
and
because
shoot
they go
you.
through the person. No.
What I'm saying, and you say that you don't know me and I don't know you. So with that being said, this man next to me don't know me. So if I pull this pistol out and shoot him in the head, then I'm wrong because I say you done already told say another motherfucking word and then this shit. This nigga here done said something to me, and since I'm a woman,
now you feel like you feel threatened.
Now I'm threatened,
right?
But this man that says that he don't know me and I don't know him. Now I'm threatened because he done said something to me and everybody around him.
Nobody would have an issue with you doing that. That's not
because point. I would have shot you in the head.
But you're directly involved in it. You're the one being threatened.
Right. I don't expect
me and this man here is leaving the club.
Telling to say nothing.
That's you.
To say nothing.
That's you.
No.
The point I'm trying to make is
I get it.
So he asked the question.
I get it. Because I've been in that situation, and that's why I said. Because I've come out of the club before.
I've been on the other end where I've had women say disrespectful shit to me. But I'm the type of nigga, I'm just going to eat it. I don't care.
And it's not that. Okay,
I don't care.
Case
but
scenario.
There's niggas out there that's not going to let you say whatever you want. Right. And you have to understand that's just the reality. When nobody's justifying it, nobody's saying what's right or wrong. But there are niggas out there, if they tell you to shut the fuck up, man, they mean it.
And you know what? I don't have
and you don't have to abide by it. But also, I don't have to defend your decision not to.
I don't look for it, and I don't want nobody around me looking for it. But I've had someone say that to me coming out of the club, and they look at me and they're saying, well, they were actually talking to my friend,
right?
And I was over it. They going back and forth, and I'm like, you know what? Let's go. I'm tired of this shit. Let's go. We were young. Let's go. So I tell her, man, let's go. He in turns tell me, bitch, shut the fuck up. Okay. So now I'm bitch, shut the fuck up. I don't know you and you don't know me.
Right.
So I tell him, make me shut up. Because obviously you don't know me and I don't know you. And the thing that he told me was, bitch, the only reason you said that is because your brother is in the club and he could probably do something to me. So that is the reason why you're not going to do something to me. You don't know me.
It doesn't matter why, man.
Exactly. But my whole thing is you still don't know me.
Man, what are you talking about?
What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you don't know me, and I don't know you.
Mel, it's not about you knowing anybody. I make the assumption, here's what it is. And
Ooh.
the reason men treat each other the way we treat each other is because there's always the threat of violence. I don't know this man, but that's a grown man. I treat every grown man like he can harm me.
You.
Yeah.
He can't kill you.
And so there's a way that men treat each other.
Right.
We don't go around calling each other bitches. Not these young niggas do. That's something different. But
Some of these niggas are bitches too. Anyway.
niggas,
That's a
we
whole
can
nother
disagree.
conversation.
We can disagree. And unless we're homeboys yell at each other.
Yeah.
Right.
But unless we're close like that, me and him disagree, we're having you can keep that shit at a
Right. Right.
decent level. You're going to kind of keep your distance and all this shit, all that's finna go away. And we tighten up because we know there's a threat of violence.
Right. Right.
Women don't have that. So when women tend to talk to men, it's the way they would talk to a woman. See, the thing is,
I didn't say nothing.
you don't have to.
I didn't say
It's
nothing.
the facial expressions.
Body language.
Women that tend to handle a disagreement with a man the way they would handle it
A
with
disagreement
a woman.
with a woman.
They're not going to handle it the way another man that's disagreeing with the same person you are would handle it, because that nigga might take off on your ass. Whether you can whoop him or not, niggas don't want to fight.
No,
It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You can get hurt.
Right. That's true. That's a true statement.
But inherently, women know that the vast majority of men are not going to hit them. They're protected, and that gives them a little bit more. But the thing is with that is that there's a segment of men that don't give a fuck about none of that stuff.
Yeah, you got some niggas out here. It's a difference between a man and a nigga.
yeah.
Okay.
That's a true statement.
Okay,
That is a very
let me
true
say
statement.
it's three things. It's a difference between a man, a nigga, and a bitch ass nigga. Because like you say, yeah, you can sit there. A man, he can sit there and argue with a woman, but still won't disrespect her as a woman. But you got these niggas and these bitch ass niggas.
They go straight to the
Yeah,
disrespect.
He went straight to you. So you in disrespectful mode. So that's why you said what you said. Just imagine if he would have said, "Nah, baby girl, you ain't gonna do nothing, whatever." You wouldn't even went off and said what
would've
you
said
said.
nothing to him.
But the fact that he called you a bitch, that put you in protective mode. Like, hold on, nigga, don't nobody call me no bitch. That's what's going on in your head and your mind right now. Like, okay, because I got niggas, I got people, like whatever. So that's a whole another segment right there. When you got, like you said, certain niggas that's gonna say this, say this, whatever the case may be. But that's a whole nother conversation.
But what
man.
kind of nigga are you to say, now you done went off on this broad right here.
Right.
I'm tired of hearing you motherfuckers go back and forth. I'm telling her, man, let's just go. You turn around and tell me, bitch, you ain't go. I didn't say shit to you. I said shit to her.
Cause you know why? Let me say this. The reason why that nigga said that shit because, excuse me, he trying to get with your friend. She ain't giving off the play.
True.
And he already frustrated mad because his ego is fucked up. It's all about ego. Let me say this. It's all about ego. And the fact, okay, if I ain't get her, like, fuck. But you come off and say that escalated.
Right.
In his mind, like, damn. And that's when he said, man, fuck this shit. And that's when he go off on you.
He went off slap on me. And I'm like, dude, I ain't say shit to you.
Right, but
I said something to her.
Right, but
and the first thing that came out of his mouth was, bitch, the only thing you gonna do is go in there and get your brother.
Because the thing about it is, you know what it is? When you said that to her and he heard it, it crushed his ego.
Fuck his goddamn.
Exactly.
ego.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying
but
though.
also, Jamel,
That's what I'm saying.
You know, the thing is, I want you to understand when I'm saying the stuff that I'm saying, I'm not telling you that you're wrong. But yeah, man, niggas get killed for fucking with niggas' egos in the parking lot of a club.
Exactly.
So just because you feel like saying shit, you got grace because, not just because of who was in the club, but also because you're a woman. I couldn't have told that nigga what you gonna do about it, because I would have had to do something. And so the mere fact that you are a woman, there's stuff that you're gonna get away with. But every now and then, you're gonna run across a nigga that's not gonna let you get away with it. That's all true. I'm saying. And that is true. But that's that masculine side though too, right?
That is true.
Because a wallflower would be like, oh, okay, girl.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, no, you don't have to do all that. You just get the fuck out of Dodge. It's situational awareness. It's not anything other than that. So I'm never gonna be like tell a woman not to stand up for herself, but you gotta be smart about it and know your limitations.
You do. You know who who the fool and you know who.
No, you don't. Sometimes you don't know at all.
That's true.
So you kind of you want to play the law of averages. You want to just whenever you can take the higher ground, take it and then go home. And I guarantee 45 minutes after y'all talk about the shit in the car on the way up to Burger King or whatever, or Jack in the Box or Waffle House, and before you know it, it ain't nothing.
Right.
It really ain't. It really wasn't.
You can also take something that won't be nothing in 45 minutes and then turn it into something that's life altering.
Yeah,
right.
It's all I'm saying. We as black people, we have ego. Black men and women, we feel like we've been marginalized. We feel like we need to stand up for ourselves whenever possible, but also sometimes take that L.
Yeah,
we don't know how to take an L.
Yeah,
but it's hard. It's difficult to do.
Yeah, but sometimes, man, when you out there, and I'm gonna say that I'm overprotective of my girls,
as you should be,
because me growing up out there is totally different than what it is now. Mm-hmm. Like back then, I could holler at a female, she turned me down. All right, cool. I'm on to the next.
Right. Nowadays,
my daughter's 22, got a 7. My 22-year-old, she holler at a dude, nigga. Nah, babe, you ain't my type. Well, fuck you then, bitches, and all that stuff. Then the fact that's the point where you gotta they pull out guns now, bro, and shoot you for getting turned down.
For turning them down.
Watch. I'm just saying though. Watch Fatal Attraction. It's on TV One.
Yes.
Watch Fatal Attraction. You be surprised how many times these women will get shot down because of a man, because she turned him down because nigga, you ain't her type. I can handle the bitch and all this, but when you pull out a gun and shoot somebody, that's a problem.
But why do I have to be bitches and hoes? Because I don't want to talk to you.
Exactly, but that's just how it was like that back then. Don't get me wrong, but it's worse now than it was before. Back then, you could be like, "Oh, fuck you, there, bitch," and move on. Now it's "fuck you, bitch." Plus, I'm finna pull this gun out because, fuck. It's crazy out here. It's totally different, Sean, than what it was back then than it is now. Then I feel sorry for the next 10 years, 20 years of what's gonna happen. And it's crazy. So to the point where they be like, Kels, you too overprotective. No, fuck you. You don't know what my I've been a man. I've been a young man. I've been out there before. I've been out there in them streets. Not to the point where I got a record, because my record is clean, but I've been around other situations to the point where I'm like, you know what? It ain't worth it. So, or the fact that me and my wife go out, they try to holler, put.
And they are so
put your hand like shit,
disrespectful
like
now.
ass tip, bro. It's been many times. That's why I've been niggas will be so disrespectful. I'll step in, she be like, baby, it ain't worth the bullet. I don't give a fuck. In your mind, because you in protective mode.
Because you're a
I don't care.
man.
Not only that, it's the fact that if I go out with my homeboys and I see other women being disrespected, regardless of my, I'ma step in. That's just me. Regardless if it's right or not, but if I know, like, if I, like you said, I can feel the tension, I feel the vibe, this nigga probably got a gun on. I ain't gonna step in. I'm gonna let somebody else because I got a daughter. I got 2 daughters to go home to.
Right.
Yeah, I got a whole family. So you ain't even worth it.
Right.
But it's crazy out here in this world, like, because it's totally different than what it was 10, 15 years ago. Respectfully, when you was, out there, it's totally different.
Because we had knuckleheads, but I think for the most part,
But y'all still had respectful knuckleheads.
Right.
might even call you a bitch. Or
Right,
something.
that's it.
I'm not. I've
Right.
never really got down like that.
Me either.
So I'm not trying to put myself above the fray, but it just, by and large, man, everybody gets shot down. It's not a big deal. I did not know that now is that big.
Man, look,
that
son,
bad.
it is crazy, bro, to the point where when my daughters, when she go out, I'll be like, hey, be careful. Call us, text us. I said, and I tell her every time, even when she was dating her, I said, if a nigga put his hands on you or he call you out your name, I don't give a damn if I'm at work, sleep, whatever. You better call me. Don't call your mama. Call me. Because ain't nobody going to calm me down.
These young guys
They don't care.
nowadays, because my daughter's 19, and the stuff that I've heard her come back with, it is fucking ridiculous.
So they're not charming?
No.
Hell no.
No.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, honestly, I feel you. This has been kind of spirited. I loved it.
Loved it.
We're gonna see what the response is. Like I said, we don't have a shit ton of people on the channel just yet.
Mm-hmm.
I would have loved to have seen what some of the comments were.
Yeah,
on your
before my
live.
phone died. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I got to ride home with a dead phone.
But here's what we're gonna do. Pretty damn good conversation. A little bit. This episode went a little bit different than what we
expected.
Fuck yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I loved every part of it.
And the thing about it though, Sean, man, I know we didn't get to half of what we really wanted to talk about.
But the thing is, we said a bunch. And all that shit kind of fit in together.
Right.
There is definitely some issues that black men and black women need to
talk about.
We need to talk about. We need to get together on some type of common ground. I know some of the things I said is just how I truly feel.
Right.
There may be somebody that can come and counter a lot of what I said and be like, okay, but look, there's this or whatever. You guys did it to one degree or another. But right now we have an issue. We have an issue with how we view each other, the respect, the perceived respect that we need to have for each other. We have an issue with putting a lot of credence and weight on people that are celebrities, that we happen to like their work, we happen to like their art, or there's something that they did that we kind of resonated with, and when they fall from grace, and we have a hard time trying to separate ourselves from that.
Right.
Just a whole plethora of things that we can really work on, but really love the conversation. Before we wrap up, is there anything that you want to add to it, kind of wrap up, or finish a thought that you may have?
Man, like you said, Sean, it was a lot that we discussed and talk about, and I agree with you. It's like we have more stuff to get, solved, or not even gonna say solved, but like you said, get on some type of common ground.
Right.
When it comes to women and men, seeing each other's perspective and respecting it without a rebuttal. So I believe once we get to that common ground, preferably we do get there, then we can pretty like understand each other from this day forward and not be so judgmental or be so, like once we understand each other and how each other think and move and what we expect and what we respect and don't respect, then I believe we'd be a better off as better people and better women and men in general, and just respect each other. I may not like you, Sean. I may not like you, Mel, but shit, I respect what the hell you saying, and we can agree to disagree. Like I said, it's all about perspective, and I hear her perspective on things. I hear yours, and I learn. And I'm a big sponge. So it's like I'm good on everything, just like with the Bill Cosby situation. I didn't know nothing about it until you said something about it, like in depth.
Right.
And she said something, so I learned something from it. Right. So I can go home. So when somebody mentioned that to me, I'm like, shit, I know now. Sean told me this.
In conversation,
now I could be in conversation with it without shying away from it or just like
being
tiptoeing around it. Yeah, so it's like that's what I get out of it, and that's what I love about it.
How about you, Mel?
I love the whole conversation in today. I did. I mean, it was really good. It was really informative. It was really, everybody had something to bring to the table about it.
So how much did you learn from me?
I ain't learned nothing from you.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
No, I always learn something from my co-host, and I always learn something from the guests. So I'm always in tune to what's going on. I love to watch the rewatch. To go back, and when Sean posted, I love to watch it because it's certain things that you miss.
Yeah, and you go catch it.
You go back and you're like, okay, wait a minute, did we say that? Did he say that? Yeah. So I loved it. And I love this freaking sign, man.
Yeah, that's
like
you really
dope.
dig it.
Man,
the sign is like dope to me.
I'm so excited for y'all to see it, man.
Yes.
Telling y'all,
it is, and the pictures on the side, it just makes such.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that from me.
Don't go to sleep on the sign, y'all.
Please don't go to sleep on that sign.
Don't go to sleep on the sign.
So what did you learn out of this? I mean, what did you get out of this?
So mainly, I don't think my opinion about a lot of what I already feel has changed. It kind of reaffirms some stuff that I believe that, especially with you, Mel, and this is not a
I know, I get it.
People are who they are. I understand. Like I said, I've been knowing Mel for a minute. I know exactly why Mel is Mel. I know why she feels the way she feels, and it's not wrong. It's a reality. And so once we get to a point where we can accept that there are realities in the world, it's not for you to agree with.
Right.
It's to accept that there are people like this. There are people like this.
Right.
And until you have conversations with them, you really don't truly understand just how different we are. And there are reasons why things are the way that
they should be.
Right. And the cool thing about that is while you're not agreeing with it, you can come to grips that these opinions exist, and you have to figure out a way to deal with it. The best that I can do. There's a lot of stuff, and I. There's a lot of things that I've come to know late in life. I'm 52, and I didn't get woke until I was like 46. And when I say woke, I mean woke in the sense that. Usually just kind of go through life and whatever happens, happens. And you get to a point where when things stop making sense to you, that means you need to shift the way that you're thinking and take more of an account of what's going on around you and try to make sense of it.
Right.
And that's what I'm trying to do. So I know that there are certain things that I believe that may or may not be right. Right now, I feel like they are.
Right.
But I also acknowledge...
That's your personal opinion.
I have to acknowledge that's all it is.
Yeah,
it's my opinion.
Right.
But the minute that I get trapped into thinking that my opinion is right, then that's where it goes wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, opinion can never be right.
Right. Or when somebody challenge your opinion, you don't take it personal.
You can't.
Right. Because it's like, okay, like you said, I can challenge your opinion, Sean, or you can challenge mine. Not saying that my opinion is going to change.
Right.
But when I leave, when I leave this conversation, when I leave tonight, like I said in the beginning of our podcast, if I leave here and not have learned nothing, it was a waste of time.
Absolutely.
If I drive out of here, if I don't think about what the fuck you said, what Mel said, and it's like, okay, get my juices flowing. Okay, bam, y'all made an impact on me.
Right.
Just like when y'all two leave, I don't know if I made an impact on y'all. I won't know that.
Right.
That's something personal between y'all.
Right.
When y'all leave up out of here. But I know me, when I leave or go home, I am thinking about what the hell you said throughout this podcast, and I'm thinking about what Mel said, and I'm thinking about what I said. I'm like, damn.
Right.
Okay, what she said makes sense. Okay, now I can start basically just bouncing off each other, and it's like the knowledge and the thought process is different now, and I accomplished something.
Absolutely.
While I was out here to fucking 12 o'clock messing with you. So yeah, so I'm good with it. So it's like that's how I look at stuff, man. It's like, was it a waste of time or was it value time? Was it fruitful to the point where, okay, bam. So when somebody asks me, like, you know, how I could, bam, then I get their perspective on things.
Right.
And with you, Mel, so it's like it's all respect. So I get it.
So we definitely gonna have you back.
I'm
because
ready.
you were a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, man.
I'm ready, man. And
we
this
just have to start on time,
right? And we didn't even talk about the conversation that I really wanted to talk about.
We had 3 other conversations.
No, we had the BBL.
We got the BBL.
That was the main thing.
The conversations versus it was conversations versus something with relationships.
Right.
It was conversations versus comprehension. That's what it was.
Right. Yeah, but like communication, comprehension.
Yeah, because the conversation we got started off on wasn't even really a conversation but that's the beauty of it.
Right.
You start talking, I guess sometimes whatever.
Good conversation takes over.
Whatever happens.
But we did hit some good bullet points.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. That's what it's all about.
But that also leaves a whole nother show. So when you get free, come back through, talk to us again. One of the benefits I have of doing the editing process is that I go through and I hear people's opinions
on Thursdays.
I have to rewind it over and over to edit it and stuff. Yeah. So I get to hear a lot of perspectives, stuff that we don't even know about. And then we have guests on, so you start picking up stuff. And so every time we have an episode, we grow a little bit mentally, you know. And so this works out for me. I would like you to sit down with the rest of the crew too.
Right.
Let me know if they can all come through.
This would be a whole.
Let me tell you something. If it could have been all 5 of us and Mel and Sean, it would have been a whole different.
Yeah. See, I'm only a piece of the puzzle.
But still, it was just
Sean
great.
is something else. She don't even need no microphone.
She really don't.
She really don't.
All right, y'all.
I'm ready.
That's it.
I'll let y'all know, and
all right,
we can do a part 2.
We'll do. We ain't gonna do it a part 2. It's just gonna be something different.
Yeah, we can do something. Yeah, something different. Like
we thank you so much.
Oh, no problem. I appreciate it.
Thank you for coming on.
I love this, man. This is cool, man. First time doing a podcast.
Oh wow, really?
I hope you enjoyed yourself.
I hope you enjoyed yourself,
I'm blessed,
and I hope
man.
you
Y'all
were able to
man.
talk freely as you needed to.
And that's what it's all about. I like the fact that even though this is a drinkers podcast, but I feel like from the shows that I just skimmed through on y'all guys' YouTube and just being here, and the way y'all guys are open and free, it's like a no judgment zone.
Yeah, we don't give a shit.
So it's like, but you be surprised. But you know, you be surprised, y'all.
Right. That's true.
That if I say something, especially when you're dealing with topics like Bill Cosby, Kales, and all that type of stuff, you got everybody that, and it's like, man, relax. We're just having a conversation.
Kellen,
right.
I'll say this, bro. We didn't, especially me, we done been through a lot, bro. we don't give a shit.
Right. Yeah, we don't
really don't give a shit, bro.
Right.
I mean,
we don't.
And I like it.
You can say whatever the fuck you want to around us.
But we have a good time.
Right.
We have
That's
a,
what
we
it's all
want to
about.
make you comfortable enough to be able to speak freely.
Right.
And as long as Mel understands that I'm right, the hey y'all, this has been another
This has been
of the Social Drinkers podcast. It's been Sean P.
and I'm Mel.
And we have special guest, Mr.
Kales.
Yes.
Thank you for tuning in.
We're gonna drink on the way out.
Oh, you know what? Pour a drink. We're gonna drink on the way
On
out.
the way out.
Oh, my cup's still full.
Don't drink without me.
We're gonna drink out.
She got the Royal glass. I like
We're
that.
gonna have Kels on back again, but
I appreciate y'all. Y'all some good people, some good hostess.
We're gonna clink it up.
clink, 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 clink.
Yes.
But
To
check
Social
y'all out
Drinkers.
again. Social Drinkers Podcast. Peace.